we're live. We were just talking about evil tunes and a ridiculous nude scene that goes on here. Well, a lot of ridiculous nude scenes. Very unmotivated, just her taking them off her top in front of a mirror for like absolutely no reason. Well, a lot of very unmotivated, just her taking them off her top.
Oh shit! Man.
That's my. I got some feedback from my phone. Yeah, I mean some of them aren't so good, but like the main girl is pretty good. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I saw The Exorcist. I saw Ahsoka's finale. And then by the way, all our thumbnails are up to date with the number of the episodes. So this is episode 48.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah, I updated that all today. That
Damn,
took a while actually.
you didn't have to do all of them. I thought maybe just like the last couple.
Well, I'm kind of glad I did because then it's like I don't have to go back and do it. It's like now I can go forward, and that's why I put the double, like I put the 3 numbers just in case, Might as well.
Well, how's that work? If you don't put it once we hit the hundreds, it'll mess it up.
Yeah, well, it would just look a little different. So it's might as well just have the 3 digits in there. But yeah, I mean, I figured we had more episodes than 48, but I guess that's the WoW stuff that we didn't count. There's a lot of that.
Yeah, we had a lot of gaming stuff, and then got into commentaries, and then it all developed in this weird hybrid, and then became this. We got rid of the gaming because WoW got fucked. Like they just ruined that fucking game. It used to be, you know, you could do 19 stuff without any interference, and then they fucked that shit all up. And then it was really hard to have content anymore from that.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm
we
getting
did start
distracted
the gaming
by
channel though, but
getting distracted by this movie. This is ridiculous. Just like a naked scene every fucking other scene. If you want to watch something like halfway like a porn, Evil Tunes
mixed with Roger Rabbit.
Ooh, they got a weird Seattle Seahawks trash can. Remember how like you'd have these little trash cans that were like a football brand? I remember this.
I remember the phones.
Remember so it's got to be phones? Oh yeah, it was like a football helmet phone. I remember that. But yeah, so I guess this has to be near Seattle if they're having that. That's a weird reference there. Seahawks weren't so popular then in 91.
No, the only one I can think of is Steve Largent, who's one of the better white wide receivers of all time.
Well, I think they got popular in like that Marshawn Lynch age. There was a period where they that's like where
they've
had their popularity.
When they had Sean Alexander and Matt Hasselbeck.
A little bit, yeah. Not a bad team to like. I agree with that. Yeah, definitely. By the way, in this Exorcist movie, the black girl's makeup were really pretty good. I think she's got like just a weird head, this black girl, and it worked really good for creepy makeup.
Yeah, no, this is pretty hard to look at for a sustained amount of time. I'm gonna have to go to a different screen.
Well, it won't be up too long.
Oh shit! I just noticed. Was this new where you combine Benjamin Cumberbucket and Beastie together?
I put this is the ultimate version.
Okay.
This got both mascots.
Beastie's so sad to look at, man. He's looking like a corpse, you know. I guess it's fitting that you're featuring him for October.
Can you ham bone? What's that?
He got caught masturbating at a park bench. They talked about that in the Pee Wee Herman episode for Red Letter Media. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it must have been a common thing because the guy from Christopher Guest Crew.
R.I.P. He's dead now. I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
He's the guy in
He didn't like all their movies. His name is Fred Willard.
Yeah, he got caught, and then
Fred Willard.
That gay British singer, he got caught doing some stuff. So I feel like, I don't know, just back then.
Boy George?
No, George Michael.
Oh, George Michael. Is he British?
I thought he was.
Oh, okay. I always kind of figured he was American.
George Michael?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know George Michael that well. So.
I don't know him that well either. I remember him in Extras when they're hanging out.
Okay, yeah, he is British,
and he's talking about doing community service because he got caught jerking off in a public toilet again or some stuff. And
well, it was like a gay toilet, probably. I'm sure it was like in Something About Mary, where it was like, I was just trying to take a pee. Remember, it was like everyone's just like, I was just trying to, like, they all like were just trying.
Or Dumb and Dumber, where Seabass is, like, I think Lloyd's in the bathroom, and then he all of a sudden realizes like Seabass has set up an appointment to meet someone there. It's pretty convenient plot.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, kind of weird. What was I talking about? What was I thinking about? All right, yeah. Exorcist.
Did you get any of those newer Busey clips I sent you with the?
I didn't get a chance to get any clips today. Don't got any clips. Don't got any new clips.
I don't give a flying fuck into a rolling donut about what Al Pacino thinks.
I still got that clip. Because, yeah, fuck Al Pacino. But, yeah, I went and saw The Exorcist. I was by myself in the theater, which is sad.
Because of a bet?
It was 7 o'clock. It wasn't like a late showing. It was just a 7 o'clock showing. And, yeah, I took a video because I was like, this is crazy. Here's an empty fucking theater. Also, by the way, this theater is fucking, like, this theater is so beat down. Like, I was realizing how, like, check out this theater. I'll pause it right where it's hard to tell, but every armrest is, like, fucked up. It's like they need to change these seats. Look at the seat. See how it's just, like, purely white here? It's all, like,
probably
ripped
because
up.
Of the, it's like all morbidly obese people.
I don't know what it is, but it's just every single seat handle, too. It's hard to see on this video or photo. It actually makes it look nicer than it is. But here's another seat over here.
Anyone goes in and, like, cleans those off, or is just levels of sweat and grime and slop?
I don't know, but here's another seat where you can see it's just completely worn out right here. Like the leather is completely gone.
It's like Wall-E.
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's about that. I think it's just that they don't have the money to update these, seats. I think it's that, and kind of sucks because I do like this movie theater. I like it. It's like it's nice to see movies. I mean, I don't mind going to see a movie by myself, like where there's no one there. That's actually awesome. I'm all for that.
You mean I don't know. It would be weird if like it was just you and then the like
one person
theater, and then one person comes in and sits right next to you instead of
it's like else. Right next to you or right behind you.
Then I'd be like thinking, like, does this person have some kind of weird motive, or like, why didn't you just go somewhere away from me?
Yeah, so I sat right in the middle, and like I was like, whatever. I guess I'm just gonna.
Is that your favorite spot? If you were gonna like book seats for something that was actually, more than one person.
Yeah, I mean, I'll book seats for.
I remember having to see Lord of the Rings and be so far up in the fucking front.
Yeah, because like everyone fucking bought tickets.
My neck was like burning after an hour, and I was like, I don't even want to fucking. I don't know if I can finish this shit because I'm like really fucking all up on the screen, and it's just blaring in my eyes. It's like this is almost like in Clockwork Orange, when it's he's got those,
I remember that
things on where his eyes are forced open.
I remember a couple of us bought seats for that movie, and we were like in a good spot. And then I remember people got seats really late, and you were like right up in the front. So I'm assuming you were a part of that group. I had like good seats for that. I remember.
I don't remember the context. I just remember the experience of being that far up because every other good spot was already taken.
Yeah, but yeah, this movie wasn't that bad. I mean, I'm surprised because I was looking at reviews
Maybe
and
it's
they're
just not
bad.
theater worthy. You know, this is probably something that should have just gone straight to fucking something and not
Yeah, I
really
mean,
reach this level.
it's not a movie I would say like, oh, you need to go see this in theaters. I'll agree with that. It was a good. It
Well,
was
what would
pretty
you,
good, but
Oppenheimer or some shit?
I mean, even that, it's like I heard the only thing that's really theater impressive about that movie is when they drop the bomb. So it's like what, like for one shot to go see the movie and for one shot. I don't know.
No, I thought what's your name's got like full bush. Then you want to see that in like 4K?
Florence Pugh. I don't know if she's really.
Yeah,
I
Florence
think there's a
Pugh's
topless
got
scene. I think that's it.
somebody must have made that up then to try and help the sales of the selling in the film. Because
Yeah, I mean, there's many topless scenes in Evil Tunes. It's like every other scene. So I'm noticing that. It's a distracting movie to have on in the background.
well, it's a different time, you know, in this like 60s to 70s.
Well, it's 91.
No, I know,
So,
but like that all just carried over until like you know people were just watching like porn like nothing. You know, like Deep Throat was like a popular movie. That's weird.
yeah, well, there was like, but it was a porno movie though. It wasn't like
I
in
know,
main
but like
theaters
the
and
way
shit.
that it was like how it sold and stuff and was treated as almost like a regular movie to go and watch.
Yeah, and also speaking of like a sexual stuff, I remember how there was a sexual nature to the original Exorcist, where
Well, yeah, she
was it,
masturbated with a cross.
yeah, she like masturbated the cross. There's only one part in this
Well,
movie
also like
where
when she says to the priest to fuck her.
there's only one part where something like that is happening. The girl on the right here, the white girl's in church, and she's like masturbating in like the pew.
Okay,
But
that's
that
a
was
nice callback then, right? That's a callback.
very, very brief though. Wasn't like, and like these little kids are looking over at her like, what the fuck is this girl doing?
Did this movie
She's
happen because William Friedkin died, or
no, he died recently. This movie's been in the works for quite a bit.
do you think he would have liked that callback?
No, I don't think he would have liked any of this. I don't think he wanted there to be another movie. I mean, this is a follow up, by the
I
way,
don't
to
know.
The Exorcist.
He said that, but then he ended up seeing The Exorcist 2, and some
Yeah,
fucking asshole riding a bumblebee or some shit.
this is a follow up to The Exorcist. It's almost like they forget any of the other Exorcist movies, and this is sort of a sequel. This is like a sequel to The Exorcist because it's all brought up. A lot of this shit is brought up, but yeah, my initial thoughts. I don't really get why this has such a bad review. I kept like waiting for it to like just like really suck, and I was just like waiting every second, like when is this gonna movie start to like really suck? Because so far I don't like hate it. I wasn't bored with anything. Not like that Indiana Jones movie. I was like, that was like a struggle to watch that movie. This movie, I was like, it was like a pretty good movie. I can't say it was like the greatest movie, but I didn't hate it. I don't see a 22%. That doesn't really register with, when watching it. I didn't see that. There are some things in here I don't like for sure. Like actually right here on screen, Ellen Burstyn, who's the mom in The Exorcist.
Yeah, from Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, she's the mom in Exorcist, and they really just forced her in a little part with Linda Blair, which was fucking terrible. I mean, I could have done with everything out with that. Like they didn't need to do this.
Yeah, I thought they would just start from scratch on like a completely original take. I didn't know they had all these people involved from the beginning. Oh, this is Blumhouse?
It's Blumhouse. Yeah, it's Blumhouse. Blumhouse has been getting all the bids for these movies. I think Blumhouse did Halloween, the last ones too, because this is by David Gordon Green. So This is his
Oh
next
man, that
take on a.
sucks. So Blumhouse is getting empty theater releases. That's not good.
Well, I'll say this: this movie's going to be out the rest of October. I'm sure it'll do well. Like this movie will be out for the next 5 weeks, and it's going to do well because people just around Halloween just want to see something that's a horror movie. So it'll do all right. I'm sure
What's
it'll
their
do okay.
competition?
I think there's a Nun movie out. I think there's
Oh, people love those fucking People love those fucking what's that franchise?
There's a couple. There will be
the Annabelle motherfuckers.
Yeah, there will be competition, but not the biggest competition.
They better have some jump scares in this shit.
Yeah. Yes, but again, I've watched all the David Gordon Green Halloween movies. This is way better than that. So I will say that it's way better than those. This is the best thing that he's done as far as the horror stuff. It's a slow burn movie, so I can see modern horror fans who like jump scares not really enjoying this because they'll be like, "Oh, I was fucking bored. I wasn't waiting for someone to jump out of a corner and scare me."
That's the issue is when you're trying to compete with like those Insidious motherfuckers. They know how to. They live for those jump scares. Like all those movies are built around them. That might be a tough market to try and overtake.
Yeah, I think that's an issue with a lot of these movies is that kind of situation. But definitely didn't like introducing these other characters. That was so forced. That whole story could have been chopped off. I mean, I think they should have chopped off like the old connection to the original movie because it could have been then like a hour and 40-minute movie and it would have been a little bit better. But yeah, this movie starts off. Well, let's see. They probably don't show it. Oh, and then this lady, by the way, was pretty good in it. The one from I don't know, I forget what it was, The Vanishing or some bullshit on HBO.
No, The Leftovers.
The Leftovers, yeah. I mean, might as well call it The Van. That show sucked.
I only saw season 1.
Yeah, that was it. That was all that was good. Everything after that sucked. There's 2 seasons that sucked.
I don't know how many other seasons did they make?
They made 2 other seasons that suck.
Like, okay. So I only saw the first one. Same with True Detective. I only saw the first season and then that was it.
Oh well, you lucked out on both of those.
But there is this Colin Farrell clip that's really fucking awesome where this bully fucked with his son shoes and he goes to the parents' house and beats the shit out of him with brass knuckles in front of his kid. And yeah, I'll give you that clip. I don't know if we can use it or not, but
oh yeah, maybe not. But oh yeah, so let me get back to this. So yeah, so basically start off with the plot of this. I'll go for a little bit of the plot and then might have to put up a spoiler thing. See if any of these follow along. Wow, they don't show any of the regular guy. All right, so they're not really showing that. All right. Yeah, so basically this main guy, what's his name? His name is Leslie Odom Jr. This guy, he's pretty good. I have to say, I actually did in generally like his character. I thought he's a good actor. I get it. I get him. He's pretty good. Not bad. This is like a flashback. Him and his pregnant wife are in some, I think they're in Haiti or some foreign country, and he's like a photographer, so he's taking photos there, and she's pregnant, and then she gets invited to do this like little ritual, and I kept thinking like, oh, this is the ritual where these fucking African people are like secretly sacrificing her, and that's why all this happens. Like that's what I thought. That was like my thought, but then it seems like it wasn't a bad thing. It was like a good thing, I guess. I don't know. But after they do that ritual, she goes back to her hotel, and then this earthquake happens, and like the wife gets caught into like a debris, and she kind of has to die. And it's kind of this Victor guy has to choose either his wife or like his unborn child. Yeah, like shit falls onto her. Debris.
So like in The Omen, where the guy's head gets cut off, like by that sheet of glass. You ever see that?
Yeah, it's a little different. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's a little different. This is like an earthquake that happens and the building kind of collapses and she gets caught in that. So she dies. And then 13 years later, which shows on the screen 13. So I figured like, oh, okay. This is like the sacrifice that she did to these ritual African people now like comes 13 years later where the devil has to come and take him. But Victor is living with his daughter Angela, who is that younger black girl here. Um he's living with her and like, typical shit. Next to him is that nurse, a nurse who is the lady from The Leftovers we just showed before. It's a big part of this thing. And so Angela and her friend, this is just they go to school, and her best friend Catherine, who's like the white girl that you're seeing in a lot of these pictures, they go to the woods to like do a little ritual thing where they're trying to connect with her mother. Angela wants to connect with her mother, so they go into the woods and
like a seance or some shit.
Yeah, like a seance, and they find like this little underground cave thing that's like obviously like an abandoned building, but there's still a basement. So they go into there to do it, and they start to do it, and then it kind of cuts away, and then they're supposed to come back at night, and then that whole thing turns into 3 days. So they never come back, and then Victor realizes his daughter's missing, so he goes to the other girl's parents and becomes like this 3-day manhunt. And then like 3 days later, the girls are found in a barn just randomly with burns on their feet. So I really like that whole part. It was kind of cool because it was like this missing time shit. And then they go to the hospital, like they're rushed there, and they give them like a rape kit and every single test that they can do, and nothing really comes up. But the girls are starting to act really fucking weird and like erratic. So it's kind of obvious here's where the possession takes place.
Reminds me of like witch trial stuff.
Yeah, and that was kind of the cool part of it was I really wanted to know what happened in those 3 days. Like I really kept thinking what's going to happen, like are they going to show us this? What are they going to show what the fuck happened during that missing time? And like that's what I wanted to see. But I guess this comes up the girl on the right's parents, they're convinced that they brought back a demon because they're very religious and that Jesus was crucified and he left the earth for 3 days and went to hell before being resurrected. So the 3 days do have some significance and a religious connotation. And that's why their feet were burned because they were in hell. So that's kind of what gets put forward. And but yeah, they start acting like crazy. So Victor puts his daughter in the hospital. And while that they're at the hospital, that lady from what is it? Is it The Happening? What is that fucking shitty show?
Leftovers.
The Leftovers. Yeah. The Leftovers.
You don't remember that show? It's with.
Oh yeah, I remember it. I remember the show. I just don't remember the name because it was very like I don't know. The show sucked afterwards. Like after that first season, that show sucked. And I liked it at first, but yeah. So she's the nurse, and then she's working there, and she's this Angela girl's possessed, the black girl, and she kind of starts to tell the nurse lady something that she's never told anyone, kind of an innermost secret kind of thing. I don't want to go too far past that, but yeah, so that's kind of what happens there. I will put up my spoiler alert because this is about where the spoilers start to happen, really. But yeah. Yeah, Anne is convinced that Angela's possessed and gives Victor the book by Chris McNeil, who is the older lady from the mom from The Exorcist, which is kind of stupid. And that's kind of where it was very dumb. And that's where Victor then goes and wants to seek out this lady to go do the exorcism or go be involved. And I didn't like that. Yeah, this is Ellen Burstyn. I thought that was kind of dumb. He goes to her house and she agrees, kind of says her and Reagan, which is Linda Blair, don't speak anymore. All this stupid bullshit. And basically, she decides to go to the hospital and see her and sees that she's definitely taken by this demon. So, all that thing. And then they go and see the other girl, and then the other girl stabs her eyes out with like a cross, a crucifix. Like as soon as she comes in, yeah. So that was kind of bloody because like she gets totally bloodied up and blinded.
Doesn't Party wish you were in a theater with a bunch of black people in the 70s watching this?
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh shit, yeah, I wanted more of that."
This wild bitch crazy.
Yeah, this white bitch fucking nuts. You need to kill that bitch. Yeah. Yeah. So then she's in the hospital and all that stuff, and then the families decide to reach out to a priest to do the healing, and they also get some other ritualistic healers. There's like a kind of like a voodoo African lady who's involved. There's like a Pentecostal preacher, and there's
And a
like
mime.
there's a mime. There's like kind of like a Protestant type preacher that comes. So it's like they get a bunch of these people to go do it. So I kind of like that because it wasn't just the typical Catholic priest. It
So
was like,
the
let's
Monster
do
Squad.
everything. Yeah, it was like the Monster Squad. It was the religious squad. They were there to take this demon out. And
Didn't
they tie
South Park have a religious squad where Muhammad, like, they got in trouble for
Oh yeah,
as like a
yeah, they
big
did because they showed
awful
Muhammad for the
something.
first. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's that kind of squad. But yeah, they join forces to do an exorcism on these two girls. So they tie them up to a chair, and that becomes the whole thing. And then out of nowhere, the priest is like, "I don't want to do this. My Catholic church has said they need to just go to psychological help. I'm not doing this." And so he sits in the car. He sits in the car, and then later, eventually, like joins up because he's going to come in to play. And then the demon girls like snap his neck from like possession. So it kind of, you see that head turning around thing happens to the priest, and he dies right there.
That's interesting. That's a nice combination of the original character doing it worked into one of the kills in the movie.
Yeah, I think you had to do the head turn thing. You had to do that.
No, but the way they did it was not one of the characters doing it. It was like involved in somebody getting murdered.
Yeah. And then during this exorcism, it's revealed that Victor, when his wife got the building collapse on her and she's about to die, and like the doctor says you either have to choose the wife or the daughter. The girl, and you're assuming he chose the daughter just because, we're seeing it in the future and the daughter's alive, but it gets revealed that he chose the wife. He chose the wife, but the wife died anyway, and he got her. So that becomes like a big thing during the exorcism while it's happening. And then the two girls say you have to choose one of us, or one person's gonna die. And like no one wants to choose. Like the mom decides like I'm not gonna choose, and then Victor, the black guy, decides I'm not gonna choose either. But eventually the father of the white girl chooses his daughter. And then everyone the black girl flatlines, and you think like, oh, she's dying. And then suddenly we see Catherine, which is this white girl, kind of
O'Hara?
Yeah, Catherine O'Hara. No, yeah. We see her in this like, I think I saw it in here. Let's see. We see her in this kind of like sewer thing, which is where they kind of went to do their ritual. We see her in there, and then she starts getting taken to hell. So it was like they were tricked. So whoever they chose was the one who actually got killed. That's sort of what happened. So that girl dies, and she dies like right there. And then that's basically the end of the movie. That's basically it. And then they cut to the hospital where Ellen Burstyn is reunited with Linda Blair for like one scene. And that was pretty much just a way to force it in. And this wasn't, I mean, my final thoughts on this, I don't think this was a bad movie. I don't think it was a great movie, especially when I'm like starting to piece out the plot. I was like, yeah, there's a lot to be.
It's acceptable.
It's acceptable. It really is. It's not a bad movie.
But it probably is not. It's not theater worthy. It should have probably been a
yeah. I'd say a lot of things aren't
straight to stream type of thing.
Yeah, a lot of things aren't. I think Hollywood though hates anything, and the Hollywood critics hate anything remotely pro-religion, and especially pro-Catholic. Because we got to think about this. Exorcisms are that's a big note to Catholicism, and let's face it, the Catholics doesn't have the best PR these days. So, yeah, people don't like Catholics. I really do think when I saw the score, I was like, all right, this is because Hollywood hates religion. It's because this is not a 22% movie. Like, I've seen 22% movies. I've seen Prince of Persia. Like this was a very I could watch this movie and not hate it. again, I'd say this is like a 7.2, 7.5. That's a vastly different thing than a 22%. I'd give this like a 72, 73% on Rotten Tomatoes, in my opinion there.
Well,
Very watchable.
It's only been a couple weeks. Is it gonna
Yeah.
change? I mean, it should probably.
Well, it's gotten a little. I mean, I saw the audience score is up at like 55%, and I'm still a little like that's a little low for me. But again, there's only like a couple reviews, so give it a couple days, and I think it'll be a lot different than that. Yeah, I just don't think it's a bad movie. It's not a great movie. It's not the original Exorcist, and geez, I mean, there's so many things I love about the original Exorcist. I love how simple that movie is because it's basically just like in a one. Besides from the cool intro that's like in the Middle East in a fucking cavern where they find the statue, like it's all just at the house.
Yeah, that's to let you know the demon that's taking over.
And that's something about that show, Midnight Mass. They did the same kind of thing where they're in this cave outside of Jerusalem, and then something happens, and that's probably the thing that's reminded me the most of Exorcist is that scene from Midnight Mass. But
What's
yeah,
Midnight
basically
Mass?
that's a show on Netflix. But basically this whole movie wasn't bad. It wasn't as simple. I love the Exorcist original one. Exorcist 2 I know sucked, but I know people like 3. I've never seen 3. People have good things to say about 3. Have you ever seen any of the sequels? What's up, Mixaplex?
Just bits and pieces, not all the way through.
Yeah, I've never seen the full, like full franchise stuff. I've seen a lot of the Omen series.
It's not like Jason or Freddy or Halloween where you can just have this vague, faceless thing murder a bunch of people. It's like too much of the plot is based on actually writing a character or multiple.
Well, that's actually also what I was thinking at why people might not like this, because this movie is like a slower burn, which I love that. I like slower burn, creepy movies like The Shining. Like The Shining is not like an action movie or like, it's pretty just a creepy hotel and it's kind of slow for a long time. I mean, the last little couple scenes are fast and interesting and kind of actiony, but it's not like, jump scares. It's not that kind of movie like people are used to today. So I understand why people might not like it. I did want more payoff. I kept thinking that the ritual in the beginning in this other country was why this all happened. It was like, it's because this pregnant woman unbeknowingly sacrifices her daughter to the devil kind of thing. Like that's what I wanted to have happen. That's what I thought happened. And then, I wanted to see more of what happened during those 3 days where the girls were missing, because that seemed interesting to me. Oh yeah, shit. I see on YouTube we're unavailable. It's like you can't show anything of this movie. I noticed. I think this happened last time. Can't even show like I just showed like a couple clips.
Is there a certain amount of time they allot that's okay, or it's so confusing to
It's confusing.
know what words you can say or how many things are acceptable and what's too much. There's no. Is it like a
no? There's no rules. It depends on the
memo they fucking send out every month. Like this.
Well, it also like it all depends on the. It depends on the thing too. Like Disney doesn't give a shit. Like that all Ahsoka shit, I can show as much as I fucking want. Disney doesn't care. For some reason, they don't care if you show off their shit. I guess they know it's like free promotion
because it's horrible, and they just want to tank the shit out of it.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like the black girl's makeup in this because I think she had a weird head and it kind of made it really creepy. Like the black girl really looked pretty good.
Your head was already fucked up, and they didn't have to really factor that in to the character design.
Yeah, I think that was part of it. Because she doesn't have to, like, I mean, she had like she had a lot of like voiceovers, like the demon voice and all that shit. So she didn't have to do a whole lot, like yeah, she didn't have to do a whole lot. I kept thinking we'll be back on YouTube yet. What's going on here? Surprised we haven't come back into play. There we go. Now we're back. As soon as I said it, we're back on YouTube. What's up, Mixaplex? Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the main actor.
Very. I don't know. How are they even like catching all the shit that goes on?
Yeah, I know. I do wonder. I guess they have some kind of thing set up. But all in all, this is not a bad movie.
Police force that just rakes over every single post. And
yeah, something like that. I definitely recommend this to people if they like movies that are more like a psychological slow burn and not wanting to see like a jump out of the corner type movie, which is like every Nun Insidious movie that's happening these days.
And Paranormal Activity, wasn't that the thing that started it?
It's hard to tell what started it.
What's the franchise with
You might be thinking of The Conjuring.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm thinking of The Conjuring.
Because Paranormal Activity was kind of like that found footage. And Paranormal Activity was kind of cool.
You're right. I was thinking The Conjuring. I meant that.
Yeah. And then there's all these like sequels. And I don't mind The Conjuring.
He was the owl guy in that superhero movie.
Yeah, Patrick Wilson.
I
kind of like Patrick Wilson. I think he's like a poor man's Chris Pratt. A little older. A little serious. A little more serious, a little older.
He was the villain in the Aquaman movie.
I think he's going to be in the next Aquaman movie I saw.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. It doesn't look like he's the enemy, though. They're like working together now to fight.
Yeah, I noticed that.
The black guy who he almost killed in the first movie.
I think it's Manta. Black Manta.
Black Manta, okay.
The character is black, too, so I don't know if it's a racist thing. Who knows? Could be.
Manta, like a ray.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, with The Exorcist, there was a few things that were like nods. The only thing that like they didn't really connect a whole lot. I'd say just the music was definitely Exorcist music that was there, which was kind of cool. That was only at the end of the movie too. It's like they only had the Exorcist theme at the end of the movie. But I'd say, you know what? If you want to go see a Halloween horror movie, I think it was pretty good. I liked it.
Well, you're the only one.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think more people will like
it. Literally the only one.
No, I mean, I know a critic that reviewed it that I'm sure will like it. I'm sure Film Threat will like it because I did not think it was like that number strikes me as something weird. It's like they're trying to make
it at all. It's just they probably should not have been on that platform.
Yeah. Speaking of also not terrible this week was the Ahsoka episode. I didn't hate this episode. I didn't really like it either. It was the finale. It was the finale. And
but I mean, based on the last couple streams, it felt like you were
I was hating it.
It'd be done soon. You know, it's like getting sluggish.
Well, I would all in all say though
not Rings of Power level, but it felt
no.
In your voice like you were just wanting it to end soon.
Well, actually, I just saw The Exorcist. I'd give that like a solid C. I'd give Ahsoka like a D. So I'd probably say it's not worth watching overall. And then I'd give, Rings of Power, like an F, but it's not like a 50. It's like not a 50 out of 100. I'd give it like a 20 out of 100. Like really low on the fucking bar. It's not even close to an F. It's like you can't give it a worse letter grade, but it's a really low F. It's almost like a 0 on like a test. You know, when you get like a 0 on a test.
Okay. Yeah,
that's where
it's not sounding good.
That's where I'd put Ahsoka. Or no, I'm sorry. That's where I put Rings of Power. Ahsoka, like a 60. Not worth watching, but close. There were some okay episodes. This last one was like I'd say this last episode was okay. I don't agree with these audience scores here. Jesus, 60, like 86%, and then 71%. I don't know what they're thinking here. It's bad. That 71% is more accurate, but I think it's a little high. That's a little high. And even IMDb, it's looking like it's getting a 7.9 on IMDb, and I don't agree with that. Don't agree with that one. Old Dave Filoni there. But yeah, this episode was fucking terrible title, but it actually had some good things. It had some nice pacing. It was called The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. So they're trying to go for a Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe pun. Yeah, like why would you try to do that? And like your own, I don't know. That's also what I was thinking. I was like, why would you do that?
8.1 out of 10. That seems fucking generous. How much of that would you say is manipulated ratings?
I wouldn't get. I put my rating down here. I would give this a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay, so about 2% of this bullshit is fabricated.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that 6.5 is whenever like 6.5 is where I think it's borderline. Like
it's generous.
It's watchable. Like it's watchable. It's like a high. It's a D plus, which is a Disney Plus series, so D plus.
Well, I mean, it's hard to go off a voting system though, because like I could rate something horrible, but then it's really entertaining to watch, but it's not a good movie at all. Like I wouldn't want to tell somebody that's gonna be fun to sit through.
No, this is this one's not bad, but it's like the only thing that was nice about it was the pacing. It was directed by the guy Rick Fumiyawa or something. I don't know. Fukuyama. I don't know. He's done Mandalorian episodes. He's this guy. Do I have it on screen? Some black guy. Rick F. Rick F directed this.
Rick Astley. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Famayuma.
That sounds. You got it. Yeah. Famuyiwa. Wow, that's fucking hard to say.
Famayuma.
Oof. Yeah. He directed it, and I think he did do a good job because the pacing was decent. The whole show actually holds your attention, and a lot of things happen in a short span, which is good and bad because sometimes it's nice to have things breathe. You know, like it's like this is at the point where I was like almost like you're hitting me over the head with too much shit at once, and it's too much like crazy sci-fi shit that I don't know all these little inside Easter eggs at once. So, and then they gave this Asian, they gave this Asian witch in it, like a flaming sword, and I was thinking like, does this bitch know how to sword fight? Like, how does she know this? Do witches know how to sword fight? Is that just a witch thing? And then you know, again, witches and zombies in Star Wars. I don't know if I get it. Don't know if I get it. Here's the promo.
I didn't know they had zombies.
Well, we're gonna get to that. That was a little spoiler. There.
No, you're saying it's a spoiler. You said it before me. How am I spoiling?
I know. It was a little spoiler. Little things to keep you interested here. Here's Disney Plus's promo. This is legit promo.
May the Force be with you.
There'll be no negotiating.
Ooh, that is a short promo. Ain't giving a lot away right there.
May the Force be with you. Are you supposed to say it and also with you, like when you're
and also with you? You're supposed to. The witch's power is not based on the Force. There is magic now. It is old.
No, I thought it was supposed to be your midichlorian count.
I think they're trying to get rid of that because even
why? Because it was too scientific, and they don't want to base their weird religious shit with some actual fake.
Everyone hated
size.
that midichlorian shit.
Oh.
People hated that midichlorian shit. It should be more mystical about who's the one.
Yeah, no,
Like,
the people got all these like probably mystical motherfuckers were pissed off that they try to base it on some like mathematical equation.
well, that's what people hated. And then this even went a different step that is equally as, in my opinion, hated. In Ahsoka, they put forward that anyone can be a Jedi. Everyone has the Force in them. So it's like,
Oh,
they
fuck
get rid.
that! No, it's supposed
I know.
to be like a weird.
It should be special.
It should be like a mixture of birthright and mutant shit.
Right.
Like you're either like fucked up and weird
I
and you
agree with
have
that.
it, or like you
I
were
think the
born
mutant shit
because
is better.
you're like born in because like your father was Vader and he came in your princess parent or whatever, and now you're this guy in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, not anyone. The Force is female. That's why. Yeah. So Sabine. I mean, Sabine. It's flat out told to you that she's not good. She really doesn't show any Force attributes, but because the Force is in everyone, she can be a Jedi. And oh yeah, that happens. That happens in this. There's a little Force moment. Here's some. I think this is kind of a fan promo, but pretty accurate about what
Ahsoka,
happens.
The Force of the Mortis daughter is still with you.
There's Ahsoka the White.
I've always believed in your potential. And now the entire galaxy sees what an incredible
It's a
Jedi.
fucking Gandalf ripoff?
Oh yeah, she's totally Gandalf, which is
I've
still
learned
fucking
from my
dumb.
past mistakes. And I won't let history repeat itself.
The
Oh,
galaxy,
yeah. Does he make the same fucking movie over and over again?
you are merely a piece in my game.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that is a real thing.
In the
But-
finale, did they have Mary Elizabeth Winstead finally pull down those khakis and show her big green ass to the camera?
No, but I heard people talking about something that was funny, and I was like, "Oh, she's always in the same outfit. Like she's always a pilot that's ready to, like she's always ready to pilot at every single moment. She's in a pilot
Yeah, no,
costume
I've
the whole
seen
time.
some like weird shit of like she's got adult diapers on.
Well, it's like, why don't you dress like, if you're not gonna pilot that day, do you have to be in your pilot costume? You know what I mean? Like, like if you're not gonna pilot today.
No, I
You
mean,
just be
just from my
shirt
perspective,
jeans.
not actually watching the show, her character's got more attention than any other bullshit, whatever crap they came up with.
Oh, okay. I mean, she's got a good face, so I don't know. For a Twi'lek, I guess she's all right. I don't know.
You know what they needed? Some CGI Roger Rabbit werewolf trying to fuck everybody, so then they could just eventually take their tops off for no reason.
Yeah, well, we saw that in Evil Tunes here. I'm watching it now. If that's happening currently, if you watch Evil Tunes.
You're watching it. We haven't shown any of the footage from it. I
I don't have any of the
can.
footage, but you can go see it yourself. Go watch Evil Tunes. But let's see if I can
Yeah,
pull
make
it up.
sure it's a good family flick. Make sure the whole
Family friendly. You can watch it with your kids. You just have to tell them about all the sex stuff that's happening. But
Yeah,
basically,
no wonder you're sitting in a empty theater watching The Exorcist.
yeah. Morgan Elsbeth, which is this Asian witch lady. It starts off with her becoming one of the higher
Okay.
witches by
Don't
the
hear that
Great
face every
Mothers.
day.
Yeah, exactly. And there's this ritual, and then they burn her eyes out, which was kind of cool. Her eyes get burned out and be like this black thing, and then they give her a flaming sword, which really reminded me of.
In Amorosa, because I thought they already did that in
I don't
the
get it, man.
Exorcist thing.
I don't
There's
get
a
it.
lot of
I don't
eye
get that
stuff
shit.
going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of ice, and I don't get why a flaming sword. And again, she's a witch, and you're giving her a sword. How does she know how to use a sword?
You know,
like,
reminds
is
me
that
of,
a witch?
Did you see the movie Event
that witch
Horizon,
training?
where the guy from Jurassic Park's eyes are like covered in fucking barbed wire and shit?
Sam
That
Neill.
movie's fucked
Sam Neill.
up.
Yeah, I mean, I like that
Sam
one.
Neill. Yeah, the movie
Uh,
really creeped me out. There's like
Do all
this,
witches know how to
there's like
sword
this
fight?
part where this little kid's running around on the ship and like all these. He's like some weird paraplegic, but now his legs all son. It's
Well, that
fucking
one's
creepy.
cool, man, because that ship goes to hell. Like it goes through a weird like space section of space and goes to hell. I think it goes through a
There's
wormhole
this
to hell.
sequence where
kind of like that idea.
One person from the crew accidentally gets released into space, and like all the fluids from their body get released from their eyes and mouth and stuff. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, but that movie does have a lot.
That'd be the remake. I'm surprised nobody fucked with that shit before.
It's got a lot of issues to that movie, but it's still pretty good, and it has a lot of creepy parts that are legit creepy, especially when they watch back the footage.
It's one of those movies
Remember the
where
footage?
Overall, it's not that great, but it has so many memorable scenes that it's still decent. I don't know how to
Yeah,
put
and
it,
it's interesting, and also it was original, so it's had that going.
Well, yeah, I mean, they made that like ghost ship fucking movie, which is like a even worse version.
But she's given the sword, and I kept thinking, like, how does she fucking know how to use this? That was like my first thought was like, she knows how to use a sword. Like, why would we think she knows how to use a sword? Do Asian witches have sword training? Like, I don't get it. Is she Asian? I can't even tell. She looked kind of Asian. I don't know. In this photo, do you think she looks Asian? Am I crazy? Is she Asian? I might be wrong. But the next scene is Ezra building a new lightsaber with the help of the robot. The robot, by the way, is one of the best characters in the show. Played by the Doctor Who guy. What's his fucking name? Doctor Who, David Tennant. I like David Tennant. He's got a weird Chinese name though. This robot, the robot's name is Hu Yang, which is strangely Chinese, a little too Chinese. I don't know. Can something be too Chinese in Star Wars? Maybe it can. Ezra builds a lightsaber, and then Ezra and Ahsoka and Sabine are going to go after Thrawn head on. That's the plan. Then meanwhile, 2 TIE fighters come up and fuck up the ship, but Sabine ends up killing the TIE fighters, girl power style. But it's obvious that the ship is fucked up and that the robot has to fix it now with the help of the hermit crabs. The hermit crabs are a big part of this show. Everyone loves the hermit crabs. I like the hermit crabs. They're good makeup. Thrawn wants to leave before they show up, but also it's like, I'm like, why not just go? Like, why does this have to be like a wait thing? Just can't you go? We've been here. Like, there's been nothing that's been keeping you here. You could have left any moment. You've had the technology to leave. Like, why are we here? Why are you like waiting to leave? I don't get it. Meanwhile, then Ahsoka and Sabine, they ride out to go into this tower where the Star Cruiser is being held, kind of hovering above it, so they can kind of get there. So they run out there to get there on their wolves or something. And as they're running out, Thrawn issues an attack from the Star Destroyer to rain hellfire. So just like a little laser shit on them. And of course, none of that hits them. Why would any of that hit them? It's very tiring that none of this stuff matters. There's no threat. You don't feel like anything is going to be bad for your main characters. And they get inside the tower, and then there's all these stormtroopers, and they kill 40 of them. They kill 40 of them right there. No problem. Ezra, Sabine, and Ahsoka, they're doing the deflecting blasts with the lightsabers, all that shit. Shit we've seen that a bunch. And then the witches do a spell. I mean, again, this is kind of interesting because it's different from the stuff we've seen in Star Wars. But the witches do a spell, and all those dead stormtroopers start to rise as zombies. Which, by the way, is a big fucking Game of Thrones ripoff. Like, immediately made me think of Game of Thrones. Was it the Ice Walker people? I can't even remember that shit anymore. But yeah, how all those everyone started to rise up as zombies, which was done better, way better. Especially that one episode of Game of Thrones where they're kind of on like a beach, and all like the whole town gets fucking killed, and then a bunch of people escape. Like Jon Snow escapes, and they're like escaped, and they're walking. They're kind of like floating away, and then the Night King comes out and just raises everyone up as zombies. I always thought that was a cool scene. That's one of my better battle scenes. That was a cool scene. So yeah, but this wasn't intense. It was just they raise up, now they're zombies, and then Ahsoka and Sabine have to fight these zombies and run up the tower like a video game. Did you hear this at all, John Lovitz? About these stormtrooper zombies? I'm curious what someone on the outside would think about that. Zombie stormtroopers. They did that. Zombie stormtroopers. You gotta let that sink in there.
Shit.
Yeah, shit is right. Shit is right. Because that is a shit idea. Why do zombie stormtroopers? I don't know why you do that. I'm gonna pour myself a little shot of liquor here, like Jim Leahy. This is for Ahsoka. This is for Ahsoka Tano. May Anakin look down on you with regret, like we all do. Yeah. So then this was kind of cool. I kind of like this part. This is something again I like. Thrawn tells Morgan Elsbeth, the Asian witch, that hey, these Jedi are advancing, and I got to get the fuck out of here. We need more time. Kind of saying like, hey, bitch, you need to fight these fucking people, and you're probably gonna die. But I kind of want you to fight these people so I can get some time. And I kind of like that. Kind of like that idea. I thought that was kind of cool. So Morgan Elsbeth, who's all witched out and black eyes, is like, all right, I'm down. I'm all in. She even said that. She's like, okay, I'm down. I'm all in. That was the quote. She is like, all right, I'm down to fight. So she whips out that fucking flame sword and starts fighting Ahsoka. And of course, it's over the top. And she really knows what she's doing with that sword. I didn't know that witches studied sword training. Enough to compete with a Jedi too. Like that's also weird. It's like, shouldn't Jedi have no problem with someone who's like a first-time sword wielder? This should be easy pickings right there. But yeah, so Ahsoka fights with the witch, and then Sabine and Ezra get to the top of the tower, and the ship is launching. So Ezra makes this gigantic jump across. Gigantic jump across.
This is a good mystery. No. Just stand there.
And there's a lot of fear involved.
Fear. F-E-A-R.
F-E-R.
That stands for false evidence appearing real.
Yeah.
Romance, do you know what it stands for? It stands for relying on magnificent and necessary compatible energy. Relationship. R-E-L-A-T-I-O-N-S-H-I-P. That stands for really exciting love affair. Turns into nightmare. Sobriety hangs in peril.
I had a can of like this Guinness stuff, and it fucking exploded all over me. I had it in the freezer, trying to chill it. It was warm.
Oh, I was talking about. Did you hear that thing about the
all
Stormtrooper zombies? Did you hear about the Stormtrooper zombies thing I was talking about?
I thought you mentioned wizards or zombies or something.
Well, basically, all these zombies get killed. All these troopers get killed. These stormtroopers, and then the witches resurrect the stormtroopers to be zombies. Kind of like Game of Thrones. Remember the Night King resurrects like everybody? It was a big Game of Thrones feeling scene. But it's magic, man. It's magic. It's the Force. Like Max would say, it's the Force. You do whatever you want. And yeah, so Sabine and Ezra get to the top of this tower, and the ship is launching, and then it's a gigantic jump. It's like, probably like a full football field jump that he's got to make. And he jumps and doesn't get across all the way, and then Sabine uses the Force to like force push him to get to the ship, and he makes it, of course. And then of course, like, is anything bad gonna happen to these people? No. Sabine then has to make a choice to go with Ezra or stay and fight with Ahsoka, and she stays, of course. And they kill the witch, this witch lady here on screen, and then the remaining zombie troopers. And that's kind of the end of the episode, really. And then Ezra takes the stormtrooper episode, or he takes the stormtrooper uniform and disguises himself on ship. So he's on there, and he's like going to be a stormtrooper in disguise. And Thrawn starts to fly off, and he destroys the tower. As soon as the tower gets destroyed, the Jedi, Ahsoka and Sabine jump off into their ship, which of course the robot had it all fixed by the time they need to jump off. And then they go after Thrawn for a slight bit, but Thrawn's about to like hyperdrive right into space and kind of lets them know, like, hey, you fucking lost. Which I didn't mind that either. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. He's letting them know they lost. So I like that because they did. And then Ahsoka and Sabine go back to the Hermit Crab Village. I guess they regroup with them for some reason. That's not explained. I guess just to have more hermit crabs in there. Who doesn't like the hermit crabs? You ever get them at the beach? You ever get some hermit crabs there?
No, I've never had a pet like that where it's something you can't really play with, like a bird or fucking.
Yeah, something in the cage.
Usually, I've had a dog or a cat, and like, what do you do with a fish? You just kind of like poke the glass and hope it comes over and looks at you for a little bit.
Yeah, you kind of just look at it. That's sort of what you do. That's what you do.
I mean, if I could have a pet and be like okay and not fuck me up, probably go with like a baby hippo.
Yeah. Oh, and then we see Maggie Gyllenhaal, some blonde-haired bitch. We've seen her before. She's with the bandits. She holds up a lightsaber. I don't know. And then this old Jedi guy. He's on top of. He's not dead. I kept thinking they'd kill this guy off because he actually does die in real life.
I thought you said he was one of the few good people on it, and he was dead now.
Well, the actor's dead, but at the end of the show, he's on top of this like old Jedi statue, and it's like this big. Yeah, he's on this. It's actually his story is still set up for more. He's on this weird big Jedi statue, and he's just like looking out, and then obviously like setting up for whatever's gonna happen later. But I guess they're gonna have to recast this guy. Which, it won't be that hard. It's just like a white guy with a beard. Come on. It's not that hard.
They don't have to recast. Just CGI assassin back. Like
I guess so. He's not that important. It's not like Luke Skywalker where you really need to CG him out. This guy could be recast. And Thrawn arrives. He hyperdrives back into the galaxy. We know. I don't know. Do we know it? I don't know. Dathomir, which is a planet from the Clone Wars, because they have to have all these little Easter eggs where no one knows what the fuck's happening unless you've seen every single Star Wars show. And then Ezra shows up to Mary Elizabeth Winstead's ship. She's got her ass out. She actually has it pulled down, so she has her pants out. Her ass is out. She just exposes it for the last shot of the series. But
who does?
Mary Elizabeth Winstead. No, I'm just fucking around with that. But Ezra shows up. He's in a stormtrooper costume, and then
even close to that in the entire show.
No, there's nothing sexual in the show. There's nothing romantic in the show. There's no love story. There's nothing.
Why?
There's nothing
Seems weird. Isn't it like such a common trope? We think it'd be almost necessary.
Well, it's because Jedi are boring. That's something that I've really realized. Jedi are not interesting. They're not interesting.
Luke Skywalker was kissing his sister, and Ryan Phillippe was fucking Natalie Portman. They mixed it in.
Hayden Christensen?
Yeah, you know what I mean. They both look the same.
White guy, he was
frosted tips in the early 2000s.
Ryan Phillippe probably could have been a decent Anakin, actually. It's kind of.
He probably
he could have been cast.
He's got a little bit more edge to him and personality than this bland-ass, cookie cutter motherfucker. I mean, what has he been other than that House of Sand and Fog shit with Jim Malone?
Well, you know what? Just looked it up. He was almost cast for Anakin, as was Leonardo DiCaprio, as was Paul Walker.
That would have been weird. I feel like he after you do Titanic, you can't go from that to this kind of shit. It's too much baggage.
Michael Jackson was almost cast for Jar Jar Binks. That's not a joke. Sounds like a joke.
It sounds like some racist 4chan post.
Kurt Russell was the first choice for Han Solo, which I that one I get it. That makes a lot of choice. Makes a lot of sense.
He might have actually embraced it instead of being this bitter asshole every fucking interview you see.
Al Pacino was also a casting choice for Han Solo, but he didn't understand the script. That's actually like a quote. He said, like, I didn't understand what the fuck was happening.
Al Pacino as Han Solo?
Yeah, he was offered the role outright, and he
that would have been weird. I don't know.
You know what's weird? Look at this though. If you look at this, if you look at like their two faces with Han Solo next to Al Pacino, I kind of see it. They're not like far off.
It's not the visuals; it's the vocal tone. You know, it's like Chewbacca, get the fucking laser. You know, it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
I don't give a flying fuck into a rolling donut about what Al Pacino thinks.
Shit, I can naturally get that in. I was able to naturally put that in right there.
I was thinking the Dunkachino one.
Oh, I don't have the Dunkachino clip. I gotta get that clip. But yeah,
when you
Balin's
used it the last time, it wasn't a clip. It was like just some random. Like, what's the difference between a clip and just showing that?
I just showed it on YouTube. I mean, I could always just show something on the fly on YouTube, but clips out are like in my system. It's easier to click. I could click, you know, like.
Yeah, I knew your dad. I fought next to him in the Clone Wars.
Like that kind of clip, like a clip. I have these clips that you love. Yeah, I thought this was an okay. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, so Ezra shows up in a stormtrooper costume. He takes off his helmet. Takes off his helmet, and then he sees Chopper and Hera. Chopper's the R2D2 character from Clone Wars. He's the not R2D2, basically.
What do you mean? He's like the.
Hey, there's a robot character in the Rebels show, and the robot character is kind of interesting. It's like he's pretty much R2D2. He's just R2D2 sequel, the sequel to R2D2 in a sense. You know, not bad character. Is he a character? I don't know. Droid. Ahsoka and Sabine, they're back at the Hermit Crab Village, and Ahsoka tells Sabine that she knows Ezra made it home because she's Gandalf now, so she's got those kind of powers. So she shows up on the doorstep of hobbits and asks them if they want to go on an adventure. She smokes a pipe now. It's funny how she smokes the.
It's like that fucking soundtrack is so.
No,
that
one or
the greatest adventure. That fucking shit.
The greatest adventure. Hurry up now, Lemmy Winks. Yeah, Lemmy Winks. The Lemmy Winks song now.
Oh wait, did they? I forgot about.
Oh, they copied it. Oh, they copied it to a T.
And could they get sued for that?
The best song, you know what's the best song in the Hobbit movie? Is the Down in Goblin Town song. It's like a metal song.
Yeah.
Yeah, Down in Goblin Town.
They like walk into the hole and it's like pitch black, and then all of a sudden they're like fucking getting raped and pillaged in the middle of fucking Mount Moon or whatever it is.
That's Goblin Town for you, right? What would you expect? Oh yeah, and Ahsoka tells Sabine that whole bullshit, and at the end you see Anakin looking on as a Force ghost. You see Hayden Christensen in his Force ghost looking on at Ahsoka, and that's how it ends. It's beautiful. This was an okay episode. It's 6 out of 5. 6 out of I'm sorry, it was 6.5 out of 10. 65%, not good, not bad.
That's your rating?
That's my rating. It's not. I wouldn't give it a fucking 8 like I saw online. No fucking way. No way. Come on.
No, it's actually a 6. 2% is completely fucking manufactured.
I mean, that's why I kind of like. I hope people don't think my ratings are bad, but that Exorcist movie. I mean,
if you're worried about your ratings, you should just throw in a bunch of popcorn and soda shit and don't take it seriously at all.
Well, I'd give Exorcist
Just do similar ratings where nobody knows what the fuck you actually mean by anything.
Well, I'd give Exorcist 7.5 bags of popcorn. I'd give Ahsoka 6 bags of popcorn in total.
That's a lot. That's a lot of popcorn, man.
Well, I'd think. I mean, you know what? 6 bags of popcorn. I think this is just under the point of unwatchable.
Then that should be
close.
like 3
It's close.
bags of popcorn.
I do think there's too many references to Clone Wars and to things that the general audience won't know the fuck anything is happening. I don't like zombies in Star Wars, at all.
Well, hold on. What was the zombie shit?
There's these stormtroopers that get killed, and then these witches, the witches that we've been talking about, they raise up the dead for like a spell, and then they start fighting again.
What the?
Kind of like in a Game of
They're
Thrones,
really trying to rip off some Game of Thrones type of stuff.
Yeah, it really made me think of that too. I was like, this is too much.
Why are they doing that? Like you got so much within your own franchise. Why you got to leech off of that shit?
Yeah, and also this didn't have a really good conclusion or a big conclusion. It feels like a big setup to the, we know this movie's gonna happen, but Dave Filoni is gonna do a movie where it
really? Emma Rosa's gonna have her own movie?
Not really. It's gonna be a combo thing. Dave Filoni, who's the creator, he's gonna wrap up The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, which is this, Boba Fett, into a movie. And that's kind of what this is kind of leading to. This big wrap up of concluding all these series into one thing. Overall, I think the show is a 6 out of 10. It's not worth watching. Unless you're a big, non-Lucas Star Wars fan, so you love the Clone Wars. If you like that, I'm sure you'll love this shit. I'm sure you'll love this kind of bullshit. But still, I think the people that like the Clone Wars, I don't think this is going to be matching up with that. Like, if you like the Clone Wars, this is probably still a little bit less than that. None of these characters, I'm going to talk about just general storytelling. None of these characters change from beginning to end. There's nothing different about them. If anything, it's a smidge. I can't really tell. Like, Ahsoka's the same fucking character. She's got her arm crossed still at the end of the series. Like, that's the point of storytelling, is you want to kind of show an advancement of characters. Like, look at Lord of the Rings. Look at how many changes some of these characters go through. Like, is Frodo the same character that you see in the beginning of the fucking story? Not at all. Is any of the characters the same as what you see in the beginning of the story? I can't say any are.
Oh no, I mean they become like
Merry and Pippin. Are they? I don't think they are. I think they're vastly different at the end of the movie.
Well, most of the villains remain the same the whole fucking time because they're so one-dimensional.
That's kind of fine because they're the villains. They're not supposed to have
they just serve their purpose.
Character evolutions are supposed to be more of an endearing thing. So you want to
I remember one of the ring race transitioned mid-film.
But even like Saruman sort of has a character arc. Like even him is a different character.
He goes from an old British gay guy to a wizard.
I don't think Christopher Lee is gay. He goes from a white wizard to Count Dooku. You're thinking of Ian McKellen as Gandalf.
He could have played that other wizard part too from Harry Potter.
Saruman. Oh, no. Dumbledore. Yeah, he probably could have. Yeah,
he turned that shit down because the original guy
I really like
on him.
Michael Gambon, by the way, just
you know that like he turned down the part because he didn't want to play. He didn't want to take over the part of somebody who shit all over his acting and stuff.
The other Dumbledore died on the weekend. Michael Gambon. He just died.
No, the original.
No, Richard Harris. Well, he's been dead.
Yeah, Richard Harris said he thought Ian McKellen was a kind of a shitty actor, and that's why Ian McKellen didn't want to take over the part.
Well,
kind of bitter.
The other guy, they're all dead except for Ian McKellen. So I guess he went out in the end. But you know what? A big thing, like I said, a big thing in this is not character change, and that's a problem with me. I mean, you want to have an evolution of a character. That's the point of storytelling. And I feel bad for these Star Wars fans that like this kind of shit because they're not really getting any good storytelling. the original Star Wars did have good storytelling. It had traditional storytelling. It had, look at that series. Look at how different the characters are from when you first see them. I mean, Chewbacca, obviously, kind of the same, but Luke, from the first shot you see him being like a little fucking farm boy douche to like a Jedi, it's so different. So different. Han Solo being kind of like a scumbag pirate to much different character. Princess Leia doesn't have too much of a change, but a little bit.
Well, she goes from not trying to fuck her brother to fucking some weird bandit.
Darth Vader, look at his character change. Especially at the end.
He goes
from
a
big character change.
Old black guy with a deep voice to some bald white guy with toothpaste all over his face.
Like an evil motherfucker completely, down to a guy that actually did something sympathetic, and then
Was
has
he
his
really
last
ever that evil? I
save
mean,
the
he just
cat.
was kind of, I don't know.
Man, kind of just
pretty
kills a dude.
ambivalent and ambiguous.
It's implied his evilness.
One old white guy
who said just like one thing, but he just said like one sentence to him they didn't like. So it's like it makes you. It's very implied that this guy's done other things like this. He just said like, I don't agree with you, and he's like, all right, well, I'll fucking kill you. So yeah, kind of implied he's done some other shit, which is why I'd want to see a Darth Vader series. I want to see why he's such a feared motherfucker. Like he's the most feared guy in the galaxy. Why? Because we didn't really see that. We saw that he got his legs cut off as in the prequels, and then we've seen him as a fucking old robot man later. So I don't know. I'd like to see that. That could be interesting. But I don't know. Star Wars is creatively bankrupt. There's no magic. There's no there's nothing there anymore. It's just the Force is female. I want to see that shirt too. We should buy that shirt. I should buy you that shirt. I'll force you to wear it. Yeah, I'll keep sending you that shirt each month.
I mean, I'd wear it inside out if I had, say I was gonna go like running or something. I'd put it on.
The Force is female. You see this?
Yeah, buy me that shirt and send it. I'll turn it inside out and use it as like some scrap heap when I need to sweat on it.
There you go. I could buy
shoes. But then, like, if say I sweat through it and then people are trying to read it backwards, then I'll get fucked over. You send me the dark version, not the white one with black text.
Look at this. Is this just like a cuck? Is this a typical cuck right here? This is a dude wearing a Forces female shirt. Okay.
$20 without shipping and handling even factored in.
See, I don't like that kind of shirt, but this shirt right here, I'm all in on.
Don't trade on me.
No, don't hassle me. I'm local, man. This is the shirt I like. I actually have this shirt. I own this.
Yeah, and when you wear it, do you feel invincible?
Yeah, I can go to any town and not feel like a tourist. Just
not
like
any
Bob.
Town. Like you could just walk. You just not even knock into somebody's house. Just kick it in, and they immediately just invite you to dinner.
Or I can get the I Am Ken Nuff shirt. See? Like Mixoplex is saying here. But I like the What About Bob shirt a little bit better.
It's Mixoplex.
No, it's Mixixoplex.
Are you into tie-dye in Canada right now? Is that the overwhelming trend? Because I want that to come back really bad.
Well, I just ordered you this.
I've got a whole bunch of tie-dye stuff. I've been waiting at least 3 to 6 years to come back in fashion.
I ordered you
suspenders too. I got a bunch of suspenders that are just waiting to be put on.
I ordered you I Am Knuff tie-dye t-shirt and also the bandana. And
no, I'm not wearing a bandana.
Well, what if the bandana had some LSD on it?
I don't care. I'm not trying to microchip because I'm wearing some stupid headdress.
Well, I could get you a headdress too. I could get you like an Indian headdress.
No, let's not go there. White people wearing Native American stuff is only good for Halloween.
Oh, we're getting close, right? Spooky season, man. This is candy corn time. I'm assuming you have candy corn right now. I'm picturing you with a bowl of candy corn in front of you. 2 bowls, maybe even. You might even have. You might have the candy corn one on the left, and then the pumpkin one on the right. Where's the pumpkin candy corn?
What is candy corn? It's like marshmallow.
It's like pressed sugar. That's all it is. It's like pressed sugar. You know, it's
like
super old timey, by the way. It's like very old timey.
But it's like white chocolate, then, isn't it?
No, it's sugar. It's just processed sugar. It's old too, man. It comes from like the 1800s. It's like 1880 when this came out. It's like corn syrup pressed into a fucking shape. That's all it is. Brock's, man. Brock's candy corn.
I feel like that shit's just been recycled for the last 10 years. This thing.
What are you, Lewis Black?
Oh,
I know the bit you're referring to.
I forgot about that motherfucker. Jeez, ugh. That was
he was
like on the
now.
Daily Show all the time, wasn't he? With Jon Stewart.
Yeah. Here you go. This is a prevalent, relevant clip for the spooky season we're in.
Candy corn. It's unbelievable to me. Candy corn is the only candy in the history of America that's never been advertised.
I bet you it was advertised, actually, in the 1800s. Probably was.
There's a reason.
Try and find it. I doubt it.
All of the candy corn that was ever made.
You know, it looks like
1911.
You know what's funny? I watched a special about how they made it, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy in the 1800s for them to do this 3-layer design. Like, it was actually like a hard thing for them to do. So it took them long to make it. Like, it was a hard idea, but they're like, we're gonna fucking do this because everyone's gonna love candy corn for hundreds of years. They were right.
It's still relevant.
It's still getting fucking sold.
It's still fucking relevant.
And so, since nobody eats that stuff, every year there's a ton of it left over. And the candy corn company sends the guys to the villages and they collect out of the dumpsters all the candy corn we've thrown away. They wash it. I'll never forget the first time my mother gave me candy corn. She said, "Here, Louis, this is candy corn. It's corn that tastes like candy." This tastes like crap. And every year since then, Halloween is returned, and I, like an Alzheimer's patient, find myself in the room, and the room has a table in it, and on the table there's a bowl of candy corn. And I look at it because I've never seen it before. Candy corn, I think. Corn that tastes like candy. I can't wait.
Yeah. But by the way, I did find an old candy corn advertisement here. We were just talking about it. I found it. It exists. You can buy it on eBay. Right here. Brock's Candy Corn, 1948. There you go. It's actually was in kind of like a little sunflower seed package there back in the day. And give it a little pouch. Give you a little candy corn pouch. Yeah.
Same shit, or it's a different?
Same fucking shit. You don't. I guarantee you they haven't changed this shit. This has been the same since 1880. Yeah, it's a weird. It used to be. You know, it's supposed to be chicken feed. That was the thing. Well, that was what they were going off. It was chicken feed. That was kind of the original advertisement for it from Golitz. Here you go. Here's another old advertisement thing from Golitz. It's a little rooster. Something wrong. Something worth crowing for. Golitz buttersweet candy corn. It's got a history, man. Oh, yeah. Okay, Discord. I've disregarded our Discord for a long time. I have to download the app of Discord.
We have a Discord?
We have a Discord. We've had a Discord for a very long time.
Oh my god, I can't imagine what's transpired. I don't think I've been on it since we created it then. I didn't know it existed.
Oh shit. And I'm seeing some man. Mixaplix has done some cool shit in our Discord. There's like a lot of cool there's some awesome shit here. Alright, I gotta show this. I see a Gary Busey GIF. That's awesome. Let me share this. I love this GIF. Like, look at this. Gary Busey coming out of caves. It's awesome. I love that GIF. We got a hot ass Rogue here who's still looking. Yeah, like look at this. Look how hot Rogue looked back then. Like, look at how big her fucking ass is. Like, these animators knew what they were fucking doing then.
Jeez. I thought Rogue was white.
Completely know what they're doing. Oh, there you go. This is one I just showed. Yeah, something worth crowing for. The Golitz buttersweet candy corn.
I did not know this existed.
Yeah, no, you're in this. You're actually in this WizardShack. We had our whole channels. This is where we could link up. It's something I would love to have the Discord channel grow and people come in and it'd be cool, but we don't know
look at all the Warcraft shit. That's what it's from. It's from WoW. That's why I stopped looking at it, because that shit died.
Yeah, if you go back, there's some people that we were friends with that were in WoW. That's probably like when you look at there's gone
Mixaplex, were you wowing?
No. He joined recently.
Oh.
But we had some friends that were in this way back in the day that we actually wowed with. So there's like some weird shit.
Yeah, there's a bunch. What is that? The Dark Crystal or some shit? No, that's the Macamee.
Pokemon shit. Pikushu. Pikushu is actually pretty good. I like that name. Pikushu.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy we definitely wowed with. I forget this guy's name.
Wow, I did not I did not know this all existed.
Oh man, I love this GIF though. I love that shit. No, yeah, I have to download it on my phone so at least I can like be connected to Discord more. Discord's like a big thing. I'm just too much of a boomer to like use these new technologies.
Yeah, no, you're too boomery.
I have a lot of I have like pencil and paper out here. Like, so I have a lot of notes on paper. Like my next thing is all on paper here. Next thing I'm talking about is like purely handwritten notes, which is disgusting, right?
I just threw up in my mouth.
I would think so. Well, you have that candy corn out too, so is it me? Is
I
it
don't
candy
fuck with
corn?
that shit. I don't want to be associated with it either.
Shit, man, I like could have swore you were like big into candy corn. Like I could have swore you would have packs with like in your you'd bring it over, it'd be in your hoodie, you'd have a pack that'd be like sticking out of your hoodie pocket. You'd see the Brock's logo kind of sticking out.
How do they even come? They come in packs?
Yeah, you get like a pack of it. It's like a cigarette box. You get like a carton. You get a carton of candy corn. They come in cartons. And speaking of candy corn and speaking of things that are strange, JK Rowling's controversy continues. This is the last topic. I just only wanted to get 3 topics in there. This is the trans people versus JK Rowling. That's our next topic here. Trans versus JK.
That's an old one.
It's coming up. It's been coming up a little again. JK has been a big target of late for the past couple of years. Despite the funny thing is, if you look into JK Rowling, she's like the most liberal person you could think of. Like, other than saying one thing about trans people, she's like a very liberal person. She is not these people's enemy. It's very funny that she's been turned into this demon.
So they demonize her despite her not being against any of their causes.
Yeah, and also like all she said is this. She said, "I don't hate trans people, but I think there's a difference between male females. There's a difference." And she's for female rights. So like that's all she's really said was that.
But does
like,
she
it's
mean
not like horrifying.
Does she mean sexually, or does she mean like?
She means in general,
attitude wise.
I think she means sexually. I think she means attitude wise. I think she means physically. I think she means mentally, which I don't disagree with her on any stance there. That's what it is. That's true. That's true. You know, I mean, Mixixapix saying, remember when the memes about her turning everyone gay? Yeah, I mean, she did. She also very much let Hermione be a black character.
Is GHEY gay different than gay AY gay?
I think that's the British way to say gay, like a Scottish gay. That's a gay person. That kind of thing.
He's not British, he's Canadian.
No, but I'm saying she's British, JK. Old Joanne. Old Joe. She's British.
Did she change her hair color? You thought she used to be like a dirty blonde.
Yeah, I think she did dye it there. Still looking pretty good, by the way, for her age.
She looks like that sorceress from Game of Thrones.
It's a Twitch-friendly misspelling, but I like the idea of doing a Scottish accent with it. She's gay.
That's
fucking
Scottish?
whale of a time. I mean, Scottish, Irish, all the same thing, right? Fucking whale of a time. Having a fucking whale of a time watching old Harry Potter. Fucking Potter. Gotta go watch the Banshees, man. Check out the Banshees of Inisherin. Everyone in the world thinks you're fucking dull. Yeah, it's good.
I saw a lot of fucking movies last couple of days though. Saw The Whale, I saw The Menu, and Batman.
Yeah, I gotta see The Menu. It's been on my list for a little bit. I have it downloaded.
It's good. It's I missed the beginning of it, but
I'm watching Death Race 2000 with David Carradine in a gimp suit right now.
Oh.
David Carradine in the gimp suit. He loved that shit. He's fucking.
Yeah,
he loved that masochist.
I mean, he died because of that type of shit.
Yeah, it all started from Death Proof 2000. But yeah, she's not someone who's a hateable person. She doesn't hate trans people. She's into women's rights. But now, the things that have come out lately is that these trans people are wishing death upon her. Now, this is going to be, by the way, I'm going to warn everyone. This individual is very gross to look at. I think you're going to have some trouble with this, Lovitz. If you didn't like the lady from, what is it? That white lady with dreads in that one movie.
No, don't show that again.
Children of Men. If you didn't like her,
I don't like that shit.
You ain't gonna like this. But listen to what this lady, person,
I'll be back,
says about JK Rowling.
And people like JK Rowling need to fucking stop because my people are dying because of her. She is killing us. Oh, but there's one more good thing about this book. JK Rowling fucking dies. Yeah, Gretchen had the nerve to kill off the queen of the turfs, and it is glorious. I only wish that scene could have been even more brutal. And people like JK Rowling.
Wow, I only wish that scene could be more brutal.
She played Ursula in that Little Mermaid reboot.
Yeah, but isn't that disgusting? You're like, I wanted them to kill off her even more brutal. Like, ew. For a person who only just said like one or two things, like, you serious? Like you sure about that? You know, like, I might have a clip for that. You sure about that?
You sure about that? You sure about that? That's why? You sure it wasn't because after the thing that happened to me, no one could look at me without dying laughing? You sure about that? You sure about that's not why?
But yeah,
I thought the Disney one just replaced this version. You have 2 still?
I got that one as that's the regular one. But by the way, Disney is not involved in tonight, which is actually Warner Brothers is involved in this story here. Warner Brothers is continuing to do the deal with JK Rowling, and they're going to make a TV show. We've talked about this before. So could this be really bad? Probably. The show will probably be awful. You know, like we've seen this before. Lightning in a bottle can't be replicated. There was something different about the Harry Potter series, something different about Lord of the Rings, something different about, you know, Star Wars original series. It's stuff you can't really recreate. Even again, Exorcist
Well, what do you
can't
think
really
the big
recreate
draw
it.
was for Harry Potter?
I think it was a lot of things, man. I think it was the time period. I think it was a new thing for a lot of people. I don't know. It was a lot of things. It was a lot of things all at
I
once. I
never
think it was
really
also.
understood why it was such a big fucking deal.
I think it was like a big undertaking, taking like kids that you knew, like, okay, we're gonna cast these kids
for like the movies, but
yeah, but we're gonna cast these kids and have them in this fucking movie series for years and fucking years. Like that's a big undertaking. So it's a different thing. I don't know. And again, the books, by the way, were still selling at the time, so it was just a phenomenon. It's kind of like how Game of Thrones hit.
Richard
Game of Thrones-
Linklater did similar type of thing with that Boyhood stuff.
I guess that was a shitty movie.
It's not a movie; it's like a series. But yeah, it is shitty. It's like
Yeah.
like mumblecore.
These are big fleshed out worlds, and canon matters, and it's true. And a lot of the movies that were done with Harry Potter were cool. I mean, I love Prisoner at Azkaban or whatever, the one movie by the Spanish director. Is it Inarritu? It's probably Inarritu.
I love it so much that neither one of us could probably fully remember what.
It's not Inarritu. It's the other. There's like 3 Spanish directors. There's Guillermo. There's Inarritu, and then what's the other one? That's probably the other one that did it.
Manischewitz.
Yeah, Manischewitz. Well, isn't that a brand of matzah?
It's something Jewish. Yeah,
That's a matzah brand.
I'm so fucking engulfed in that world. I can't.
Oh, Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah, that's it. The guy who did Gravity.
Alfonso Cuarón.
Fuck Gravity. The movie's boring as shit. Sandra Bullock and George Clooney can go float in space for the fuck I care.
Yeah, it's better than Ahsoka. Way better than Ahsoka.
Well,
so
Ahsoka,
like,
you had to watch.
I'll give it that. Like, come on.
Season that you could have just fell asleep halfway through the movie and not even bother.
Yeah, still like any episode of that Ahsoka is not better than Gravity. So I'll say that. It's okay. Had its moments. It wasn't that good though. But the shit is happening, so all these trans people have to be aware because it is happening. Here's some more disgusting trans people, and even JK Rowling tweeted this out, I think, to make note of how gross this person is. And she said, the gentleman might want to supply examples of the horrendous, horrifying, disgusting things I've said about trans people. Because this is true. She's really not said a lot. Sounds as though there are loads.
I feel like
she's really not said much.
She was like one of the few like early combatives to the whole movement, and
not really
still going is enough of a reason to scapegoat her out.
All she's really said is, I don't think they should have women's rights. She's more pro women's rights.
Like really, back then that's like all it took. You didn't have to say anything. It's just saying anything at all was enough. It didn't really matter what it was.
Yeah, Mixixaplex says I like Gravity better than Ahsoka because I haven't bothered to watch Ahsoka. Well, you made a good move.
Really, I thought you were. I thought
I'm the only one in the world. I think
Disney release right with whatever we were covering.
I have a coworker who watches all this shit, and he likes it, and I'm like, no, he likes Ahsoka. He liked Obi-Wan. He liked Boba Fett. He likes The Mandalorian, and it's like I kept
look into their eyes while they're talking about it. Are they just?
But yeah, and I always say, like, are you sure you like it? Like, because it's like there's been a lot of bad things. I'm like, you sure? Like, I feel like I really want to let him know, like, you're not right. By the way, bro, like you're not right.
You sure about that? You sure about that? That's why? You sure it wasn't because after the thing that happened to me, no one could look at me without dying laughing? You sure about that? You sure about that's not why?
Yeah, and like my buddy loves that shit too. It's like, yeah, this guy is a friend, and I do like him, and he's a good person, and I really do wonder. It's like,
Are
I
they
don't
being
get it.
brainwashed?
No, I think they're easily entertained, where like they'll accept something that's crappy. You know, it's like I can't accept anything.
Well, yeah, it's
Like, I
filler,
can't
dude.
accept
So
crappy shit.
they're
But
probably
they don't
not really
mind.
paying attention to any of it. It's just they just need something to consume.
Well, but that is like something I've said. I've said this multiple times about Ahsoka, where I've said it is watchable. So I think to a lot of people,
But what does that
what
mean?
what
You
I'm
know, it's just-
considering a 6.5 to other people could be an 8.5. Like
but
that is
what does
something you have
being
to notice.
watchable mean? Like it's just like when you need something to
Well,
throw on, it's
Well,
good
like
enough
The
to.
Exorcist, it's like I sat through that movie and I was entertained and I didn't think it was bad and I had a good time. But was it the best movie I've ever seen? No. That's acceptable. Same thing with Ahsoka. There's been episodes that have been good, where it's been like, is it the best thing I've ever seen? No. But can I watch it and not like turn it off? Yeah. But then there's been some episodes that are not that, where they are bad and you want to turn them off and they're boring. So it's both. But here's what this guy says. A man goes on an unhinged rant about JK, like she's actively saying the most horrendous, disgusting things about trans people. So here's what he has to say, and this is a very misinformed viewpoint, is what I think, and I think a lot of people think this about JK, which is not accurate and stupid.
JK Rowling is a transphobe, right? I see so many people on here still supporting Harry Potter, like, Harry Potter, yay! And I'm like, you realize that the author is a transphobe. Like, she actively says the most horrendous, horrifying, disgusting things about trans people, specifically trans women, on X, right? Twitter. You get that. How do you still support it? How do you still perform that music? How do you still read those books?
By the way, the most horrendous thing she said was, I think trans women and trans people are different than men. Like, she hasn't said anything bad. She said, I don't hate trans people. I think that women and men are different and women's right needs to be, represented and understood. That's like all she said. She's not been out and like said like, I fucking hate these people. Like, what are you fucking talking about?
That's what they're referencing?
Yeah, it's like that's all she said. She like, you can look this up. She said very limited things that are anything controversial. I think it's just the fact that she's famous, that she said anything will piss these people off. Yeah, I like this. Calm down there, forehead. Mix like the bug said. Yeah, I mean, look at that forehead. It's like a fucking 8 head.
How do you still watch this shit? How do you still talk about Harry Potter? You know that she actively is doing things to hurt the LGBT.
By the way, it looks like he consciously wore Harry Potter glasses. Am I right on this? Like, he consciously put those glasses on for this video. That's also very weird. I think he's trying to play into it.
LGBTQ community. I love those things. I love the whole franchise, but I can't support.
What? So that's another thing that's stupid. If you love the franchise, why would you let this bother you? Does the franchise speak for one? Like, this franchise is beyond one person's viewpoint politically. You're like, why are you getting upset about what one person's stance politically says? It's a fucking fantasy series. You can still like it, but
support it because it hurts my siblings. I can't.
It hurts his siblings.
How do you do this? How do you do that? Do you just not know? Are you just willfully ignorant? Are you trying to say like separate the artist from the art? What?
Yes, exactly. Separate the artist from exactly. That's exact. It's funny. He even knows. Yes, that is what art is. Art is a different thing than the artist. It becomes its own thing, especially the zeitgeist of a big series like a Harry Potter or a Star Wars or a Lord of the Rings. It becomes its own thing. It's its own living creature.
No, you should always separate the artist from the art because you don't want whatever person's outside stuff to impact the actual product or film.
And also, this is coming from more of the occult outside of this, perspective. But JK Rowling herself has said that this was like a channel, like she channeled this story, like it's not even her story. Which again, a lot of Christian people will think that's demonic, but who knows? But like she's even said that, this story was just like flowing out of her like a channel.
What do you expect?
Yeah. Well, and there is real witchcraft references in the whole thing. A lot. And there are real demons mentioned in the text of things. And there are real demons mentioned in titles of characters and other things. There is legit occult references to the whole thing. She probably was channeling this. And then again, that's a whole other story if you think it's a bad thing. I know a lot of people have said that there is not good things in the books and all that shit. A lot of Christians are nuts, but hey, I just saw The Exorcist, so I don't know. Mixixaplex says, I personally don't mind Harry Potter. I agree. I liked as a child.
What is that, like the porn version?
I guess so. As a child, I liked the first book. I read the first book. I read the first 2 books as a child. And then I saw actually I was in England and I saw, I think, the second movie. I saw Chamber of Secrets while I was in England. So, oh wait, no, never mind. I'm wrong. I saw Chamber of Secrets in Florida. I was in a Florida theater. In England, I saw Return of the King. I remember I saw Return of the King in England. Great fucking movie. Good old Peter Jackson right there. But yeah, no, I like Harry Potter. I think it has a big Christmas feel to me. I get a Christmas vibe from Harry Potter.
Well, yeah, there's that one where they're out in the snow and there's like some ghost that fucks somebody up or some shit.
Yeah, well, also they're always like Harry, because he doesn't have a family or whatever. He has to stay in Hogwarts for Christmas, so that's a big part of the books and sometimes in the movies. So I don't know. It gives me a Christmas vibe. That's not a bad vibe.
Well, I don't know what it is, but that and the Christmas story and some other shit around Christmas, they always have Harry Potter marathons that go on.
Well, because I think it does remind people of Christmas. Also, those movies,
that whole like jingling, fucking.
So does Lord of the Rings, though.
All that shit, like it sounds like sleigh bells, fucking.
Yeah, well, also Lord of the Rings. I think it's a release time. Both Harry Potter and the Lord of the Rings were released during December. So they all both kind of remind me of December, which is again Christmas time. They have that vibe. Mixixaplex says, I watched Shaun of the Dead with the kids last night. Oh, they liked it. Oh, that movie's fucking brilliant, man. I love that fucking movie. It's so awesome too how that first shot of the movie where he's exiting his apartment and then it's like a shot that follows him to his job and he's walking through, and then they replicate it like 20 minutes later when the zombies happen, and that movie's brilliant. That's Edgar Wright's peak. That and Spaced were great. I love Spaced. So yeah, love Shaun of the Dead. I put up there as probably my favorite zombie movie of all time is Shaun of the Dead. I think it even
too.
Yeah, Hot Fuzz is great. I love those Edgar Wright movies. Even the other one, the World's End, was pretty good.
It was alright. I gotta say the ending was pretty
stupid,
weird,
yeah.
and it felt rushed.
Yeah.
Or not rushed, like didn't know what to do with it anymore.
Yeah, but it's hard to not like that movie. It's a gem. It's a gem. Shaun of the Dead. Also very emotional, even in the like, especially when his mom gets bit and he's like, like I don't know. There's good parts to that movie. It's there's emotion to it that
really
that weighs into the
gore
story.
sequence too, when the really obnoxious nerdy guy who's trying to fuck his girlfriend, but he's stuck in the friend zone.
He gets the Dawn of the Dead death,
sort of like in
Dawn of the Dead, same thing. Yeah,
Day of the Dead, where
Day of the Dead, yeah.
Is on the floor and they rip his body in half. I feel like I don't know if that's like a reference.
It is.
But it felt very similar to me, and it just kind of whole feel of
Dude.
the scene.
Day of the Dead is, I think, the best of the Romero series. It's an underrated opinion right there, but Day of the Dead is better than Dawn of the Dead. It's a way better movie. Also, it's a way better movie.
I feel it's more memorable to me. Like but it might be based on how old I was at the time. It was that movie came out a couple years later, right?
Well, the thing is, Dawn of the Dead has this big. Dawn of the Dead's good, but it has this big slowdown in the middle where it's like they're basically just kind of hanging out in the mall, and the movie fucking slows the fuck down.
What also,
it's almost just like they're trying to fill the time.
Threw off that film for me was the Dario Argento version, and then also the remake that came out in like the early 2000s. Both of those kind of distorted the original version.
Well, the European cut is the one to watch because I like that one the best. The Dario
That's
Argento soundtrack. Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
right?
The one with the Dario Argento Goblin soundtrack is the best one. That's actually the only way I really remember it, though. So I don't know the other ones. I remember it with the Dario Argento cut. I love that movie, though. I love both. For sure. Definitely better than Night of the Living Dead, both of those movies. And I also love the Pennsylvania vibe to it, especially Dawn of the Dead. Especially when they're like the hunters are out there just kind of being hicks, like killing the zombies, drinking beer. Yeah, very fucking 70s. I love that bit.
Well, the whole like shoot them in the head revelation.
Yeah, and they're just out there like it's like a turkey hunt. Like, they're just fucking, to them it's just like fun to hunt, like drink beer and shoot zombies. Like, yeah, that's fucking America right there for you. Especially to me, like I remember that vibe in New Jersey more like in the early 90s. That's gone nowadays, but early 90s, that was there. That whole vibe of people.
Well, like trampoline wrestling and
No. I just like I mean, there's farm stuff near me, so I guess I was used to that farm culture, but the farm people in the early 90s were very similar to the hunter characters in Dawn of the Dead that are just killing zombies and drinking beer. Like it's pretty fucking close. That didn't change too much a couple years later. But speaking of that, not changing and being ungrateful cowards is Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson, who vow to never have anything to do with JK Rowling because of how offensive she is.
Really, you motherfuckers.
Yeah. Just because she said
you're
like
only
one
relevant
thing
because of this fucking person.
Yeah. I mean, that's like incredibly offensive. Like, exactly. The only reason you are around and actors is because of
The only reason anyone is listening to you right now is because of this person.
Well, apparently this is really just Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson. Rupert Grint even said, to me, she's an aunt. I might not agree with everything she says, but she's like my aunt. So what he said is very accurate. Like, yeah, exactly. You might not agree with whatever your conservative, person in their family says, but you still understand that, I still like that person. It's not a big deal to me. We just differ on opinions, which is fine. Like, you don't have to agree with everyone you know. That's the fucking life. But you also don't have to be offended by them, and that's stupid. Here's Daniel Radcliffe going on about JK Rowling's. Yeah, same happened to Roseanne, and Roseanne was funny. What Roseanne said was so true. She said how that lady looked like someone from the Planet of the Apes, and holy fuck. Look up that lady. Look up that lady that she said looks like from Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, but
Yeah, she fucking does. I mean, she does. It's not like she looks like the lady from Planet of the Apes. It's not a joke. Yeah, and exactly the people that she made famous turned on her, especially during that time. That whole show was popular because of Roseanne Barr in the 90s. That was her heyday.
Yeah,
and that's
but
why
I would say the Roseanne cast is a little less notable.
Well, yeah, but they were holding on to it for the only reason they still exist now is because of Roseanne. You know what I mean? Like, fucking DJ.
Well, no, I thought they had that whole fucking spin-off shit.
Yeah, but the only reason it happened, the only reason that spinoff happened was because of Roseanne. You know what I mean? Like,
no, but like the Connors is almost as big as.
yeah, but it happened because of Roseanne. That's the point. But here you go, Daniel Radcliffe going into this. Daniel Radcliffe said, "Transgender women are women. Any statement to the contrary erases the identity and dignity of the transgender people and goes against all advice given by professional health care associations who have far more expertise on the subject matter than I or Joe do." Joe meaning JK Rowling. Joanne Rawlings right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's this
what is this photo on the right? Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. That's why I had to pull it up.
I can't even pay attention to what's going on.
But look at this. What this guy said is so true. The caption of this. Imagine saying this. Imagine saying this, stating males who identify as women, and that J.K. Rowling's, who's been a woman for 58 years, is not versed on the subject of what a woman is. You know what I mean? Like, that is embarrassing.
Well, what's worse, men telling women what they're supposed to be, or women telling men what they're supposed to be?
Well, that's also funny. It is like, honestly, it's counterintuitive. Exactly the same thing. It's like he's telling women what they should think as a male.
I can't get over that photo. It's hard to read what he's talking about. Oh, the Krakens are playing.
Krakens are on, man.
Yeah, here's
the Rangers couldn't like win a single
what
fucking
depth
preseason
did this
game.
come from?
Well, look at this.
10,000 leagues underneath the sea.
This person said, "How? Holy shit!" I agree with Ray. I'm gonna put a little like on that.
Oh.
Best comment all day. It needs to be celebrated. Here we go. Oh my god. Jesus. Is that a wig?
Yeah.
It's gotta be. Gotta be a wig. But hey, man, that's fucking Hollywood, man. You get these disgusting people. They agree with the grossest stuff. You know, like, I mean, I guarantee you JK, well, not JK, but Daniel Radcliffe would be all in on Weinstein. He'd be sucking that dick.
Before we begin, I just want to congratulate Harvey and his wife Georgina on the birth of their new baby boy.
Thank you.
Harvey gave us just what we needed, another him.
Finally, I'd like to thank Harvey Weinstein. The Punisher, that's his nickname. The Punisher, yes.
Harvey, if I keep thanking you in public, people will think we're having an affair. But nonetheless, if you're choosing sides in the playground before a scrap, I would like to have Harvey Weinstein and Graham King on my side.
Harvey Weinstein, Bob Weinstein, God bless them.
My friends at Miramax for making this film, especially Harvey. And
Harvey, thank you for killing whoever you had to kill to get me up here today.
And to Harvey Weinstein, the tough guy on the playground with the biggest heart. Thank you for saying you'd do anything for your friends, and you always do. Thank you.
And then Harvey Weinstein.
And Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey and Bob Weinstein. Everyone.
Thank you, Harvey Weinstein.
I want to thank Harvey and Bob Weinstein.
My agent, Kevin Uvain, and God, Harvey Weinstein. The Punisher. Old Testament, I guess.
Especially the bomber Weinstein, my godfather.
Is it better than I do?
Sometimes I call him Jennifer. It's a pet name.
Okay.
I would like to thank Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein, who believed in us and made this movie.
Harvey, thank you to Harvey.
Harvey Weinstein for his commitment.
And to Harvey Weinstein and everyone at Miramax
He's Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein and Lawrence Bender and
Harvey and Bob Weinstein. You also break my heart with your uncensored passion.
But I have to thank Harvey.
Yeah, Mixed Sixplex Harvey. Courtney spoke out about him. But Courtney Love, man, look into her. She's a fucking weirdo. Has weird connections. She was
had, Kurt Cobain murdered.
Yeah, she definitely did.
He
And
faked
also
his, handwriting on the suicide note.
Big indications that she's the one that got him addicted to heroin too. Big indications.
Well,
he was, by the way, he was sober. He had no
clause
heroin in his system.
Before he died, where she would not have been left all the money, so she made sure that it happened before that was actually finished.
Yeah, I mean, he was 100% sober from heroin, which is not like it was stated. The big thing that was stated was, oh, he's a fucking heroin, he killed himself, all that shit. Like, no, he was off heroin for months. It was not in his system. He was not withdrawing. He couldn't fucking shoot himself with a shotgun by himself. That doesn't happen. But yeah, there's a whole book on that. I think it's called Love Kills. It's called Love Kills. Let me promote this book. There you go. Love Kills: The Assassination of Kurt Cobain. I've heard really good things about this book. She has weird. I mean, I can't blame her, but she has weird history to probably being an MK Ultra person. That was set up to do this for a long period of time. There's even been
some weird Manchurian candidate.
Yeah, no, yeah. She came to the Seattle area with like all these drugs, and like everyone, like she came with heroin. She essentially set this out.
Well, yeah, she was like a shitty.
I remember when she spoke out. She
actress, in like she would like play like punk roles as an extra, with like a big mohawk, or like just the really kind of generalized 70s version.
Yeah, and The Man in the Moon, which was the last thing I remember Courtney Love in. I'm pretty sure there's a Weinstein movie. Pretty sure that's produced by the Weinsteins.
No, I thought she did that Larry Flint shit after that.
I don't really remember her. That was the last time I really remember her in a big movie.
I remember her from the Larry Flint stuff with Woody Harrelson, and then Man in the Moon with Jim Carrey.
I think Man in the Moon is later than that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's Man in the Moon is like 2000. Larry Flint movie could be late 90s. What is the name of that movie? People vs. Larry Flint? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's earlier. That's got to be like that's 96. That's 96. Yeah, the last time I really remember her in a movie was The Man on the Moon. Even Jim Carrey, man, he said some shit about the Illuminati shit. He seems to be written off.
Yeah,
he's done, man.
I got the feeling like a lot of people are trying to make him out to be a psycho.
Yeah, I mean, here you go. Here's his big thing that I think exposed it. Let's see if I can. I can find a shorter clip. I'll find a shorter clip. I like Jim Carrey though. I think he's he knows what he's talking about here. Here you go. Here's good old Jim Carrey. This clip right here.
Secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Oh, I like it.
It's the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on, you know? And they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things and, you know, and you know, look at him trying to come it out. It's hilarious. And, you know, and I'm sick of, hold on a second. You know what they're trying to do? Who? This thing is buzzing. Hold on. They're trying to turn us into, you know,
There you go. Definitely true. I think he's trying to say something there. Trying to say
That's
something
where
about.
it ends?
That's where it ends.
Are you looking forward to watching a Han Solo movie as a fan?
Not really.
I still don't understand why this clip is so funny.
I love that clip. With
No,
the
I mean, like, funny to us, but not to them. Like, I guess they're uncomfortably laughing it off, but it's like,
I think so. I think that's what that interviewer guy is like doing. That's what that laugh sounds like. Yeah, Kimmel
I'd be like,
Kimmel
why not?
definitely, by the way, I have to say, Kimmel is looking at him like, you sure you're doing this?
I would
the
have
vibe
been like,
get.
why are you not excited? Other than this and Indiana Jones, what the fuck do you have left to live for, motherfucker?
I don't think he cares. I think he's made his money. I think
It's
they
not
like
about
forced him
caring.
into
It's
it.
like, you know, he's probably got 8 divorces to pay for, so he's got to keep pumping out.
Come on, he's got 2 divorces. He's still married to that little skinny bitch.
Oh yeah, Callista Flockhart from Alan McBeal. I forgot about that shit.
Yeah. He's still married.
It's funny, like that's still even a reference. Like I can remember. I mean, my mom and my aunt loved that fucking Alan McBeal show, that lawyer show with the dancing baby stuff, and then the villain from Ghostbusters 2, that little whiny museum guy, he has a part in it. And then Lucy Liu's on that show. And then the big blonde lesbian that was fucking Ellen DeGeneres is on that show. And then Robert Downey Jr. eventually was on the show too. When it started to jump the shark, they brought him in to save it. Yeah, I've seen a lot of Alan McBeal, more than anyone should.
Shit. Sounds like it, man.
You don't remember that show, the Ooga Shaka Baby shit?
I kind of remember. I don't think I've ever really seen an episode.
You don't remember the Ooga Shaka Baby?
No, I mean I remember that, but
look it up. Like once you
remember this
see it,
clip, man.
it'll scar. It'll leave a scar in your memory, just like it's.
Wait, isn't that like Guardians of the Galaxy did the Ubashaka song in their soundtrack? The Ubashaka?
Yeah, I think they did.
I remember that in A-Town Live, man. Remember they would have that clip in A-Town Live? It was gross. Who can't remember A-Town Live on the internet? Come on.
I don't know. Probably like half the population.
Probably everyone in the world, except for 200 people.
In,
Only 200 people, 250 people know what we're talking about, but those 200 people, they know. If you know, you know, and you're a part of 250 people in the world.
It smiled at me. I'm not a piece of shit. I used to be. People can change. People can change.
It's a dangerous night. The night is a night. It's the light of my life. I want a dangerous night.
By the way, the Vampire, what is it? Vampire something? Their indie band? Vampire Weekend? Yeah, they did this song. And this song is like brilliant. I have to say, like, it's pretty good.
I like how they just they really have nothing other than a piece of steak. Like there's no potatoes or vegetables or anything.
Sloppy steaks are steak and water, man. That's a
I
sloppy
mean, come
steak.
on. What do you think was going to happen when you're serving a steak on a plate with nothing else on it?
Yeah.
You're asking for it.
Come on, what do you think we're gonna do?
This guy seems like he's a juicy strangler. Actually.
No, we're good guys. Let's love
Shoe on the table, make up on my throat, your face in the mirror.
It's a dangerous night.
Calling on the phone.
Get some weight, Mustang.
I like how the little Russian to cut it off.
It's a dangerous night.
Is this really any different than the Gracie Strangler dipping in his dog in some grease?
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I gotta get some water.
Oh yeah. Get some water, man, for that steak. I know what you're doing.
No, I mean
you got a steak right there. You're gonna try to slop up. By the way, I see on this guy's a cooking guy, Babish. He did the sloppy steaks on his show, which is fucking crazy. But yeah, I think you should leave. It's a brilliant sketch show. I can't recommend that enough. Brilliant fucking guy. The funniest thing about SNL is the people that have left SNL of late that have been the funniest are people that just got kicked out or like couldn't do anything, like Tim Robinson. I don't think you should leave that clip we just showed. And also from you sure about that clip?
You sure about that? You sure about that? That's why? You sure it wasn't because after the thing that happened to me, no one could look at me without dying laughing? You sure about that? You sure about that's not why?
Yeah, I mean, he's been one of the funniest people. And then even Shane Gillis is probably the next, who also got unceremoniously fired from SNL. It's they've probably been the best people off this. Shane Gillis is blowing up like crazy. Netflix special is really popular. He's very popular. Friend with Rogan, all that shit. That's a big plus. But I saw this the other day and I loved it, and I had to watch the show he talked about, which was it's called The Specials. It's on I found it on YouTube for free. I love this kind of shit because I love retards. So, oh god, I'm gonna go to hell, but I do.
There's a better one. It's called The Specials.
Yeah, dude, The Specials are the OG.
Specials are good.
I'm so happy.
Yo, let me explain this story.
Okay. We're talking about people with Down syndrome, and they're doing reality shows about
Yes.
this. Okay.
There's a house full of people with Down syndrome.
Yes.
First off, once you watch it, you realize dudes with Down syndrome are the bros. They're the best dudes on earth.
Of course.
All right.
Yeah.
So this dude named Sam, he's got Down syndrome. One of the episodes, they're going to take him to a Lady Boys show.
Lady Boys are punk.
A burlesque show of Lady Boys. And he is pumped, dude. He's got the flyer. He's like, he keeps coming up to the camera like, sexy dances.
Sexy tones.
And everybody's like, relax.
They're Australian.
Relax.
They're all British. No, the Specials
they're
are
British.
No, this is British.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he goes, and then everybody keeps telling him, it's like, no, they're actually men. And he's like, no, they're not.
Oh, they told you. They're real girls. Trust me.
I know you don't want to believe me, but they are very pretty. But they are boys.
Output.
The whole time he's like, trust me, they're not.
Please, I beg you.
I know
No, that's real girls.
I know you want them to be, but they're not. They do a good impression, but they're not.
Oh, they are.
And then he's talking to one of the house like chaperones, and he's like, Sam, they are boys. And he's like, don't be rude.
They're not. They've got willies.
Don't be rude.
No, seriously. They
Well, A, they go for dinner. B, go with girls.
They have them.
Don't be rude. And he's trying so hard. And then he goes, what if one of them tells you they have a penis? And he goes, I'd be fuming.
But what if you hear it from them and they actually say to you, I am a boy?
I'm not fuming.
And then you go, why would you be mad? He goes, I have no idea.
Why?
I have no idea.
Just like, dude, that's the bro. I'm still going. So they take him to the show. He gets in there. The camera's on him. The girls come out and are dancing. He's holding a soda. He looks back at his boys like, they show his face like, yo, I told you.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was wrong like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was fun?
The girls are sexy. And then one of the dancers takes their mask off.
I did all that, and may I say,
And starts singing like a man. And they cut the camera to him, and he's just sitting there like.
He's still being polite.
And then a minute later, all the dancers come back out. The camera cuts to him. He's like, ah.
I gotta say, yes, please. The girls are sexy.
No, we're not ladies, we're lazy boys. Lady boys.
No, the girls.
Yeah, I love that. He won't believe it. Well, we know some people have flown out to Thailand that have, I assume, had their own ladyboy situation. John Lovitz's cousin. I think he's also a Lovitz, right? Is he Lovitz or is he outside of the family? He's made his way into some ladyboys. Hopefully. I think it's just a price kind of thing. But yeah, I watched the specials. It's a funny show. You could find it all on YouTube. I had a good time watching it. It's a very funny show. It's basically like the real world it's like the real world, like 5 people in a house, but they're all Down syndrome like. So I loved it. I fucking loved it. I think I'm like only a few episodes off from the end of it, but it's funny. You know what's the funny thing about it though? It's like, they love fucking life. Like they love it better than anyone I've ever fucking met. That's the funny thing. Like they are having a good time. Like like people will be like, "Oh, how could you say this about them?" Like they are fucking loving life. They don't give a shit. They're having more fun than I am. Like they're going out like dancing all over the place, like looking like stupid. They don't give a shit. They're loving it. Like I used to think like, oh, it's so sad that they're not like with it, but oh god, that's the better way to do it. That's the better way to do life. Like I don't think they're having a bad time at all. They're having a good time, man. Don't feel bad for them. Like I was realizing, like these are not people to feel bad for. They're loving life more than you, like way more than you. Like, and also it's like their life is so easy too. It's like they have like what do? They like the one character in the show. Oh no. By the way, you're thinking of mixed. I love the show too. See, I have to say I love these Down syndrome shows. It's I think I'm like a connoisseur of it's called How's Your News. How's Your News? I love How's Your News. The movie is so fucking good. And so politically like correct, like kind of showing how these politicians are all pieces of shit. Like slick backed hair, white shirts, chicken pasta, that kind of shit. White suits for New Year's, getting loaded, that kind of shit. Yeah, I love How's Your News. So fucking good. That movie's fucking great. It was a show, and actually it was shown through MTV. MTV put it on. But like you said, Matt Stone and what's his name? The main guy. Fuck. How am I forgetting this? Matt Stone and Trey Parker. Yeah, they produced it. They paid for it. Because they were like, this is fucking hilarious. You know, like, and it is true. It's like if you ever meet these people, dude, they're fucking loving life. Like they're fun, man. They're fun. They're
I
fun.
feel like it's everyone around them that wants to make them, feel like they're some kind of lesser than,
Yeah, that's
They
like
have-
when I
they
watch this.
know-
It's like, yes, exactly. No, man, they fucking have it better than us. Like they just fucking go out and fucking have a fun time. They go to work and they just like the one girl goes to work and she just eats the whole time. Like, and like,
Yeah, man, I wish I was on disability. Like you don't have to work at all. You can just kind of chill out and have some caretaker all the time.
And they do work. They work and they work and they eat cookies all day. Like the one girl's eating cookies all day, and she gets in trouble for eating cookies, but she doesn't get fired. It's like that. I wish I could do that. I wish I could just eat cookies all day. Like, yeah, and they drink beers, they smash bottles. Yeah, I have a clip for that. Somewhere.
Limited edition Star Wars.
That's the wrong one. Limited edition Star Wars.
Knock those together. No.
Holy shit!
Bobby, stop! Bobby, stop!
By the way, they love to drink. They love to drink. They all drink, and I fully support that. Like if you want some down, they got to be on alcohol at least. And they're all trying to in this show. They're all trying to fuck this one girl, Megan, and she's like the cuter Down syndrome girl. So there's like a race to fuck this Megan girl. She goes to special. She's like a high end, like a high processing Down syndrome. She's like going to Special Olympics. She's riding horses. Doesn't even look that retarded. I'll say that. That's a high end pick right there. But the specials, it's all online on YouTube. Highly recommend that. And I only wish myself. I wish I was in the specials house. I'm probably not far. I have to just get a few more drinks in and I can go to the specials house. What about you, Lovitz? You ever pine to be on disability? Be I could see that with you, right? Come on. Who doesn't? Imagine that. Don't have to work. You get disability. You got people looking after you. They're bringing you to parties with other retards. That's what they do on the show. There's always a party happening every Friday. They go out more than I do. There's always other retards that want to fucking drink beers and smash shit. That's the way to live, man. That's the way to live. I mean, even on Howard Stern, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice was fucking living it up, man. Beetlejuice was having a good time. Beats the best, man. Beetlejuice, Mr. T, that little clip right there. I gotta play that. That's a great clip. I love Beetlejuice. It's one of my favorite clips. Beetlejuice talking about fighting Artie. Let's see if I can find that. It's got to be in here somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. I found it. I found this. Of course I found it. This is stuff that's easy to find. Come on, Beetlejuice, come on.
You want to talk about Beetle? Whatever you want to talk. All right, me and my man Beetle. I'm proud as a brother. He's proud of me. We're proud of each other. He got his business going. I got mine going. That's what it's about. Can you and B talk to me for a second? Oh, what you want to talk? What you want to talk?
Well, this wasn't the right clip.
Can you?
I show speeches saved Aiden Ross's life. See,
I don't even know what I'm clicking on here anymore. Clicking on all the wrong stuff.
Yeah, there's some Beetlejuice clips with Howard where the way he talks to him is you can tell he kind of feels bad about
asking him shit.
I see how he's kind of exploited him over the years, but at the same time he's helped him a lot. I mean, Beetlejuice had an entire career in life because of being on Howard. I mean, other than that, he just be some sideshow freak doing rinky-dink bullshit at a mall or something.
Yeah, exactly.
What color is a carrot?
Carrot? I think it's a carrot, but I don't know about that.
If you dig a 6-foot hole, How deep is that hole?
About like 20 feet.
Oh man, but he's a
You
different
ever
kind.
see the clips where they ask him about how old he is?
Yeah, he's like 400 years old. He's like, I'm 400 years
Well,
old,
he
800
says, like,
pounds.
10 different ages, and some of them are realistic, and so, but also they're realistic, but also like confusing because he could either be like 40 or 30, and then he'll say like like random bullshit too because he doesn't understand the question.
Yeah, because I mean, here's he's asked how tall he is. This will kind of play into that.
600 pounds.
I know you're 600 pounds. How tall are you?
It could be
6 feet tall?
No.
Who, me?
Yeah, about 100 feet tall.
100 feet tall.
But how much you weigh?
At least a lot.
Okay, that's what I thought.
At least about 100 pounds.
How much?
At least about over 400 pounds.
But how tall are you?
Taller. I'm about 100. At least. I don't pay it, dude.
Oh, that's how tall you are?
I don't pay it, dude.
I don't think he knows. But have you seen the specials at all? Have you seen any of the specials?
Seen what?
Did you watch that clip where I showed a Shane Gillis the specials? Were you watching that clip?
I think it was away.
I gotta play this again then. This is a brilliant clip.
Reading his special.
It's called The Specials. It's called The Specials.
Oh, you said a special like it's some hour-long HBO thing.
Yeah, this is worth playing again.
Better one. It's called The Specials.
Yeah, dude, The Specials are the OG.
Specials is
I'm so happy.
Yo, let me explain this story.
Okay, we're talking about people with Down syndrome,
Yes.
and they're doing reality shows about
Yes.
this. Okay.
There's a house full of people with Down syndrome.
Yes.
First off, once you watch it, you realize dudes with Down syndrome are the bros. They're the best dudes on earth.
Of course.
All right.
I thought he
So
had
this
a family member that was Down.
Down syndrome. One of the episodes, they're gonna take him to a Lady Boys show.
Lady boys of pink cock.
A burlesque show of Lady Boys. And he is pumped, dude. He's got the flyer. He's like, he keeps coming up to the camera like sexy dances.
Sexy dancer.
And everybody's like, relax.
They're Australian.
Relax.
They're all British. No, the Specials are
British.
No, this is British.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he goes, and then everybody keeps telling him, it's like, no, they're actually men. And he's like, no, they're not.
Oh, they told you.
I mean, to them, who cares?
I know you don't want to believe me, but they are very pretty. But they are boys.
I'll pet.
The whole time he's like, trust me, they're not.
Jeez, not only are they like fucked up, but they're making them fall for men in disguise.
Well,
What
they don't
kind
know.
of sick
They
fuck show is
do a good
this?
impression, but they're not.
Oh, they are.
And then he's talking to one of the house like chaperones, and he's like, Sam, they are boys. And he's like, don't be rude.
They're not. They've got willies.
Don't be rude.
No, seriously. They
Well, A, you go for dinner. B, go with girls.
They haven't.
Don't be rude. And then he's trying so hard. And then he goes, what if one of them tells you they have a penis? And he goes, I'd be fuming.
But what if you hear it from them and they actually say to you, I am a boy?
I'm a fuming.
And then you go, why would you be mad? He goes, I have no idea.
Why?
I have no idea.
He's just like, dude, that's the bro. I'm still going. So they take him to the show. He gets in there. The camera's on him. The girls come out and are dancing. He's holding a soda. He looks back at his boys like, they show his face like, yo, I told you.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was wrong like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was fun?
The girls are sexy.
Oh man!
And then one of the dancers takes their mask off.
I did all that, and may I say, I'm shining.
And starts singing like a man. And they cut the camera to him, and he's just sitting there like.
Oh god! They told you.
He's still being polite.
And then a minute later, all the dancers come back out. The camera cuts to him. He's like, ah.
I'm gonna say, yes, please. The girls are sexy.
Sam, we're not ladies, we're lazy boys. Lady boys.
Not the girls.
Sam, we're the lady boys.
The girls. Don't you?
Sounds like
We've
they're
had a
saying
lot of
loaded-
people we know believe
loaded
this.
boys.
Yeah. You got some feeling. You got some other lovesives that have experienced the Thailand Bangkok boys.
What?
Lady boys. Your cousin.
Oh, I don't know. That was a joke I made. I don't know if that's what he's actually doing.
Come on. What do you think he's doing?
I actually heard he was
Thailand?
doing some like mail order bride type of thing.
Oh, okay. Well, there is a lot of like. I mean, there's
So
a lot
maybe
of.
like a mail order bride.
No, I
lady
don't know. I
boy
think it's.
bride.
Well, it could be like there's a lot of like, kind of prostitute women too. It's like it kind of all of it.
I don't
you
know. He always creeped the shit out of me. I would not be surprised if he was fucking kids or lady boys or any other.
Yeah, that's the
fucking
creepy
thing
thing
you
about
come up
Thailand,
with.
the kid stuff. I could see that too. That's a love it thing right
There's
there.
only a certain amount of reasons to go there, you know, and you're not really. It's not very discreet.
Right. But we're discreet here. So you can
He's a
watch your
piece of shit,
retards here. We could talk about retards all day. I could talk about retards for the rest of the night. Believe me. But believe me, they're having a better time than we are. They're enjoying shit way more than you are. So don't look down upon them. They're loving it. I don't think they think their life is
part of
bad.
his act was he had a relative that used to sneak in cheese,
Grilled cheese.
grilled cheese, and try and hide that they're eating them at a restaurant because they didn't think that they would serve grilled cheeses.
Yeah, and I was it's funny. I had a friend in middle school, high school. Name is Nick Pape. He had an aunt who was Down syndrome, and I always felt so bad. And
Really,
like, it's
I
funny
don't remember
how
seeing them because I've been at their house for like some family parties and stuff. I don't remember any blatant.
I do.
Retards walking around.
Oh, I do. There's his aunt, and then his aunt had a husband who was also Down syndrome, and I totally remember this. It's like stuck with me for life. And I always felt so bad, and he never seemed to care. And now I realize, like, when you're around it, you realize, like, no, they're fucking fine. They're fine. Don't worry about it. Like, they're having the time
Yeah,
of
it's
their life.
everyone else that's making a big deal about it.
Yeah, it's all like the bullshit society shit that plays into it. It's sad because they're doing better than you are. Like, believe me. Like,
Oh man,
they're having
if,
fun.
if I could just like pretend to be Downs all day and have somebody like just be my handler and like wipe my ass and feed me candy all day, I'd sign up for that.
Yeah, they don't have the like the
I
level
don't
to
wanna work a
know
9
that
to
they're not in
5.
a good situation. But I mean, they're not in a bad situation. You know, like you're having fun. You're doing your thing. It's not much different than anyone else.
Yeah, but they're also completely dependent on somebody else.
Yeah, but that they don't know it though. You know.
No, I know they don't know it.
You
but
know,
if
they don't know
have
that.
it,
So
then they're fucked.
they're
It's
not in
like
the
they can
realm to
just
understand.
coexist without any help whatsoever.
It's like a
I mean,
it's like
maybe
a
they could.
dog.
I don't know.
You know,
Maybe
like,
they'll just be
dogs
like
are having
some
fun.
homies.
Dogs are having fun. They don't know what the fuck's going on. It's the same kind of thing. You know, like they don't know.
No, it's not about what they're cognizant of. It's about their necessity for help to exist.
Yeah.
This is,
But with that, we love these retards. We're the
it'd
king
be
of
like a
retards.
paraplegic, you know. If you couldn't
Big
walk
fans.
around and wipe your own ass and stuff, it's not as fun as like being affable and goofy and cartoony.
Oh, right, exactly. But this was episode 48. We're getting close to 50. We're getting close. We're gonna have to have Gary Busey on the 500th episode. That's the goal. We'll get Busey.
He'll be dead before that.
Well, that could be the case, but if not,
He might be
we'll
dead
get
before
Busey.
50.
Yeah,
I don't mean years of
he
age,
could be
I
dead
mean
tomorrow. He could be dead tomorrow. Benedict Cumberbatch will still be alive.
Yeah, actually, I saw this. I was watching like some random like wrestler stuff, the movie The Wrestler, and there was this clip about Mickey Rourke talking about how the governor wanted to mandate people wearing helmets all the time, and he referenced Gary Busey's accident during the interview.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh fuck,
wow.
man, this is like really weird and dated. And this is like Mickey Rourke before he got into like boxing and fuck his whole face up and shit.
Ouch. But with that, we're we're twitter.com/wizard_shack. Oh, is that what it is? Hold on. Am I crazy?
Well, I don't know. You could say Twitter, you could say X. I don't know what people even recognize or accept anymore.
Yeah, we're wizard_shack.
Is there a certain generation of people that are gonna not even know what Twitter is, and they'll just only know X?
Yeah, we talk about Busey, we talk about Rachel Zegler, we mentioned Star Wars,
Alan McBeal,
Marvel,
ayahuasca, Amorosa.
ayahuasca trips. Yep.
Are you glad that
is-
shit's over now? Like, do you feel
yeah.
relieved?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At a certain point, like, was watching it just it felt like a chore. Like you just had to get
Yeah,
through
yeah.
it.
Watching the whole thing. I mean, that's my general complaint with the series is that it felt like a chore to watch the whole show. It was not something that you
So
want
it
to
was then. It was getting pretty close to Rings of Power.
Rings of Power was beyond it. No, I would say it still was at least a couple times better than Rings of Power. It had a point. It had a point at least. Rings of Power did not have a point. The plot was so.
They should just do like some buddy flick where Emarosa and the Rings of Power elf girl are like doing some Nick Nolte, Eddie Murphy thing, you know?
Well, I could break it down like this. Like Ahsoka, the story moved, like let's say it moved 4 feet. You know, like that's the measure of length it moved, 4 feet.
And Rings of Power moved an inch.
Yeah, Rings of Power moved an inch. Exactly. Like that's exactly how. So I would still say it was way better than that because Rings of Power just it wasn't
It
meant
was
to
a
even
slog.
be anything. Yeah, it was a slog.
It was a fucking slog.
Yeah, it was a waste of time, waste of money. I'm sure Amazon knows that better than we do.
Not even all that. It's just like just the experience of trying to get through it. It felt like a fucking second job.
But definitely go watch our X-Men video we just posted about our leaked info we got from an insider source about X-Men.
Oh yeah.
So, oh god. Snatch Adams gave us some good stuff. That's our insider into Marvel. He works at Marvel. He's a 3D animator. Snatch Adams.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Robin Williams.
Oh yeah. Well, he's rolling in his grave, so just like everybody else. He's spinning in his grave. Him and Tolkien. It's like a fucking gyroscope.
Yeah, by the way, Mrs. Doubtfire, that was some like early trans stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd say that kind of fits. It's some early kind of drag, right? Kind of drag.
I'm surprised that hasn't been rebooted. But they actually show his dick this time.
Oh, you think they'll show full frontal?
yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire, full frontal
in the ads.
Kids.
Finally, we're gonna show you full frontal on like you've all been waiting for. We want to see it.
I'm sure
Harvey
there's some
Firestein's gonna show it off.
that's been waiting for that to happen.
It could be, man. I wouldn't be surprised. This is 2023, so fuck. Come on. All right. Well, we're wizard_shack on Twitter and watch our other videos. I'll see you guys. Have a good one.